Righty-os, how are we doing, Skywatchers? We've got another clear night tonight, so let's make the most of this. We are going to be looking out for UFO, UAP, all of that sort of good stuff in the night sky here, live from Wiltshire, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So lots of weird, wonderful things in these night skies over the years, and tonight is going to be a very good, clear night of sky watching. Do say hello and let us know where you're watching from tonight there, and ask away any questions. O is in over on the TikTok. How are you there? And Dan is in. Colin too. We're on a bit earlier tonight. I thought, hey, it's clear enough. Let's get the show on the road a little bit earlier. Maybe we can do it from 10:30 going forward. Let's see how long that one lasts for. But Blue Nose there coming in with the likes. Thank you for that. All of the likes, guys, it really does help us. The likes, the tapping away, the shares, all that stuff helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. How you doing, Carl, as well? Oh, you just ordered your low noise amplifier there. 23 meters of coax and some SMA connectors there. Exciting, getting all the kit ready there. And Benjamin, how are you doing there? Senior, I think we've literally just come on, but I imagine it's going to be a good night for us tonight. So hang around, you're going to see some stuff there. And Chloe, welcome in. How the devil are you? A night there, XM is in. I'd like to hear you English fellas talk. It's a strange hobby, but hey, I find Japanese quite relaxing, actually, so... we all have our thing there. So guys, you're just joining us. We're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, set just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long list of weird and wonderful things in the night sky. So hopefully we're going to see more and more of that as the night goes on. That blue is the last bit of daylight. We are waiting for the sun to go fully round, even though it's dark for me here to the eye on the surface. The sun hasn't fully gone around there. And as that goes, we're going to see more stars and more awesome things flying around up there. So do say hello and let us know where you're all watching from there. I'm very good. I'm glad it's cooled down. It's such a relief. It's not quite enough for me, but I'm not going to complain too much. Just wait until winter and I'll be complaining about that. In fact, winter, probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably be complaining about that there. And Joseph's in there. I went and I got a refund for the t-shirt. Oh, Joseph, sorry about that one, dude. Yeah, so we found you one in that one, didn't we? The version we needed for yourself there. But turns out they don't bloody ship to the UK, so sorry about that one. Do appreciate you trying to support us there. I will keep looking into it, but very frustrating there. So sorry about that one, Joseph, and thank you for the rose there. Do appreciate that. It all goes back into the stream. And Astra is in. How are you there? Benjamin there. Haven't they released loads of files on UAPs? They have not quite got the good stuff, the Roswell bodies, anything like that yet, but there is some interesting things in amongst them, and it's very good that it is now being taken seriously and spoken about seriously, because whatever it is has been going on for a long time. But I think they've got to ease everybody in. You know, they've got to. It's not just us who are curious on the UFOs, and we've seen all this documentaries and all this sort of stuff. You know, we're ready for the Roswell bodies, aren't we? That sort of stuff. But that would probably shock the rest of civilization. So they kind of have to warm up and go, lads, you do realise there might be something to this. You know, look at these strange things, and slowly build it up. Otherwise, might be a bit jarring there. And Lethal is in. How are you doing there? And us Brits love to complain there. It's too hot or it's too cold. 100%. I'm grizzling, whatever. A few of you have noticed that about me, and if you see a circus with a big top tent, it's not just those ones though, Joseph. It's anything beyond the listed sizes, like there, even in the smaller ranges as well. Just doesn't seem to be accessible. That and key rings, which is bloody frustrating. They do some key rings, the supply we're using, because we're not making it ourselves. We're relying on other people to do it, because otherwise we'd have to have too much stock, and I can't do that. But yeah, the key rings are like 12 quid for a bloody key ring. I'm like, I can't justify that one yet. So I'm keeping on the lookout. I'm waiting for the caps to arrive though. But do appreciate you there. Been watching a good stream on YouTube, Lab 360, all about UFOs. I've not heard of that one there. What's their take on it there? Is it interviews, or are they doing some research themselves there? Marcus is in the house. Appreciate your set there, sir, and thank you for the gifts, guys. The gifts, and Janie too there, and Carl. All the gifts, the subs, the patrons, the members, the merch, all that jazz does go back into the stream, helping us improve what we are doing. I would do, Joseph, I ain't got any space in the house to do it though and hold the stock, but if it picks up a bit, then we definitely would. Where did we get to? Theodore is in. How are you doing there? And I can't understand the Japanese talking there, but I know a lot of what you all are saying. Well, see, sometimes not knowing is best. So I find it quite relaxing to watch the Japanese street food vendors setting up their street food carts in some obscure town in Japan and serving food into the wee hours. It's incredibly strange. I don't know what they're talking about, but it's quite relaxing there. Long live the Queen. It's a bit late for that one, though. It's the King now, isn't it, there? Oh, Scooby, the audio's scratchy tonight. It's meant to be a bit better. I had hoped I'd fix something, but apparently I might have made it worse. Is that coming through for other you guys on the tubes as well? It's coming through there? GWAC is in. How are you doing? And excellent, good. Yeah, is it? Because we did have a little bit of interference, and so I swapped something over to try and fix said interference. There. Sounds good, you're XM. Thank you there. Well, I'll keep having this investigation because I do think it's possibly something I'm doing wrong there. Our king is a worm. That reminds me of the "Would you love me if I was a worm?" Anyway, going to bounce back over to the tubes. To the TikToks. Guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. They're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK.
Zoom mode
right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. We're going to see lots of things like this in the sky tonight. And what we need to see them do is stop dead, shoot off at speed to change their course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure that it is something a little bit stranger than one of the many, many man-made objects flying around up there in the night sky. Oh, that's an interesting little movement there. Oh, I don't know if that was the loss of tracking towards the end as it was getting fainter there. But the tracker here is meant to identify strange movement and therefore proving that it could be something interesting there. Janie as well coming in with the gifts. Thank you for those. All goes back into the stream. And... it's live viewing the UFOs. Oh, okay. Was it Lab 360? Was it there? He did put it out. Let me scroll up, see if we can catch that one. I'll have to check them out. Where did we get to? It's around here somewhere. Yeah, Lab 360. I'll have to check that one out. Thank you there for the heads up. I'll leave full. And Janie is in the house. How are you doing, Janie? I have friends in Japan there. It's so cool. It's one of those cultures, isn't it, that is so different again, you know, a real immersive, totally away from what we are used to. And a lot about what the government have seen over bases and the pilots seen. Interesting, I like that. And the public. There is so much out there. And I think it's been out there the whole time. People have been talking about it and possibly get, you know, the more people that share, it's a bit of a snowball effect. But lots of people have been sharing their experiences for a very, very long time. We just haven't been able to hear all of them. There's only a certain few that kind of made it above, the press in the past or into certain books. But now we're all connected. We can hear more and more there as well. Marcus coming in with the extra gifts. Thank you for that. And what level of HDMI do you use there, and how much roughly did it cost you? I don't know, maybe 40, 50 quid, and it's about 10 meters, but you did need to get a HDMI repeater as well because it really, really struggled over that distance there. And Thomas there, the aliens are probably hacking you. I do feel like some days somebody is. Especially was it last week when we just had 3 or 4 totally unconnected things go down in a row. And it's like they've never done that before. Something's going awry here. I'm not too conspiracy minded, but it does make you think sometimes there. And 44 the ISS passed there, but it's way west over Spain. Yeah, I think it's a bit too low tonight. I did double check. I saw it literally just before I came on the stream. Was going quite low on the horizon there. I almost went, oh, what's that? It catches me out every damn time. Where did we get back to over on here? G right there, thank you for the confirmation. And XM2, the fella said that I couldn't hear you good there. Never talked on a CB radio. Yeah, I was better now. Never this technology, Scooby, you know, put in all the effort and it's always something going wrong there. And appreciate that though, and I appreciate the heads up because it's good to know, because I don't get any continuity. I get the visuals, but I don't get the continuity of the audio, so I'm always curious if there are anything's there. And is that after the probing there, Scorps? Hey, I did hear an interesting take on what the actual probing. I mean, I like to laugh a little bit about the probing. I know some people don't think it's good to joke about these sort of things, but hey, it's how we deal with things. But I did hear an interesting angle on the probing. You know, and it's basically stool samples. And you'd think, wouldn't you? Well, a stool sample, you can collect that. You don't need a big old probe for that. But it was the evolutionary biologist Michael Masters there who talks about the greys being us potentially from the future, and it making evolutionary sense. He was basically saying, well, when they collect stool samples from bears, which they do quite regularly, you know, they don't wait for the bear to just go. They go in and get it, and they've got a special tool, which looks a lot like what people talk about these probes being. So I was like, we're joining the dots eventually, guys. We're figuring out what the people have been reported and matching it to actual things. Oh, TikTok's having a sulk. Is it? Oh my God. Sorry, TikTokers. Every now and again, it just has a bit of a shit fit. Sorry about that. It should be sorted now. Hopefully it didn't cut out for you guys on the tubes, but it's an interesting little take on all of that there. Where did we get to? I think we're all caught up with the chat, which is very, very surprising. So if you are joining us, we are doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of weird and wonderful things in the night skies here over the years. Tonight will be no exception. It's fantastically clear. We're just waiting for the last bit of that daylight to go. That is what the blue is there. So this lens, even though it's dark to my eye here, that lens lets in lots more light than we can see with our eyes. So it's picking up a last bit of daylight. And as that goes, we're going to see more objects, we're going to have better contrast. You can see the colours of these stars, and yeah, it's going to be fantastic for sightings. Don't rely fully on the tracker. Do still keep an eye on it there, but it is good as a little guide there. And Scooby,
nom nom nom.
Thank you so much for feeding Alan there as well. And I thought you were doing a rap then. That's our sideline car. Tidworth in there. How you doing, Bumper? Good to have you in there. How are the skies of Tidworth tonight? Have you seen anything strange? Very good to have you in. Yes, guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from, but make sure you're following or subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies, it's this. It's the UFO, UAP, Skywatch. Cloudy nights, it's this. It's an alien radio signal hunt, where we search the hydrogen line, which is the channel on the radio dial, where scientists theorize that if ET's out there, this is where they'd put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? And if the moon is up, we do a moon watch. We've not done one in a while, because I'm lazy, but we will do one again soon, and we see all sorts of strange things. We've even seen a glowing crater, which shouldn't be happening on often around the moon. So yeah, do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and ask any questions you may have. If you've had an experience with the phenomenon and you want to share that, we would absolutely love to hear that one as well. That is the thing in doing this that has blown my mind the most, has changed my understanding of what might be going on, is hearing how many and all the ranges of incidents and accounts that you guys have there. And Purple Ray as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? And Janie there on YouTube now, if you stop clicking on there. It's filtered it now, but thank you for the line there for it though, Janie. But they're bloody auto mod. Not sure what it filtered there for. Gazette is in. Fire, exactly, Scooby there. How are we doing, support? Good to see you in. How is your week off to tonight? We've had a good run of clear skies, haven't we? So I'm very, very excited for tonight, because for once, touch wood, we haven't had particularly too many problems come up before the stream. So I'm focused. We're gonna get some activity tonight. So hopefully tonight will be the night for lots more anomalies. Oh, the tracker is a little bit too sensitive tonight. As it's getting brighter, it is getting a little bit jazzier. So let's turn that sensitivity up a bit there, although it did lose that one. In there, A Up is in. How is the skies in Guernsey? Very jealous of those ones. And Paul, thank you for gifting a members there. Who got that one? Old Cynical, good to have you in there. So you do thank Paul for the membership there, and that will mean you can join us for our next deep dive. We're going to be doing one this Thursday, I believe, and what we do is we do a little thank you stream to our members and our patrons. We take a look at all sorts of leaked documents, whistleblower accounts, all that sort of stuff related to the phenomena. If the US do a drop, then we will have a look at that as well. But I think it's the CIA Scientific Advisory Panel on Unidentified Flying Objects report from 1952 to 1953. The Robertson panel, I believe. So it's one of those ones that they kind of go, we need to have a look into this, and they get all their best minds together. They look into it, and normally they go, yeah, this is really bloody strange. But then publicly they go, no, we've looked. Nothing to it, lads. And what was the one that we did? Was it the Condine report, which is one of the really, really early ones that was commissioned by the US Air Force into it? And very interesting. You read the scientific research, the paper, the meat of the paper, and they're going, yeah, this is strange, we can't prove these things. In fact, the more data we get per sighting, the less chance we have of actually resolving it, which, you go, this is really interesting. And then you look at the cover, the summary of it, and it's, yeah, nothing to see here. And you're like, what? So it's doing our UFO homework. I do find it very, very interesting there. On YouTube now. I'll see if it glitched. Oh, that was it there, Janie. Thank you. Yeah, let us know what it's like there. Rodney is in. How are you tonight there? It's still a wee bit light there. We'll go out in about an hour. You're not that far away, are you? Surely. Oh, well, how far? Is it noticeable across? I was going to say the UK then, but Guernsey's not technically the UK, is it? Where are we? Down there. And Mark as well there. How are you doing now? I'm new here, just looking in. Well, you're very, very welcome. Where are you joining us from tonight? And have you ever had an experience with the phenomena? We would love to have new people in. They're even skeptical. That's totally fine as well. We're, again, open-minded, so everybody can come in and share their thoughts and opinions. We want to hear from you all. And MB Cleaning, good to have you in where you're following us from tonight there. And Luca, how are you too there? Good to have you guys in. So yes, we're looking out for UFOs, UAP, all of that sort of stuff there. Oh, Southwest, Mark. Now, you're right up our street. You can probably see on the screen, we're in Wiltshire, so you're in our sort of territory. Now, I say our sort of territory, I haven't lived here that long, and that was actually the main impetus of doing this stream, was coming here and going, wait a minute, this is a weird place. I wonder if there's anything weird still going on here. Have you experienced anything yourself living in these parts? Channel Islands aren't part of the UK. They're separate, but they're crown dependent only. Yes, the weird technicalities of these things, isn't it? Yeah, I think they're technically outside of the UK, aren't they? Protectorates and dependencies, some sort of fancy thing like that. Too good for us, aren't they? Where did we get to there? And thank you, Luca, for the follow. Good to have you in. So, guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from and ask away any questions you may have there. Maybe it's what we're doing, how we're doing it, or why we're doing it. It's all good. We want to hear from you all there. I'm glad to hear it there. My manager has sent you a Google Earth playlist there, and we don't talk about it. I don't think... who's the manager there? I'll see you... maybe I'll remember it there. I'm trying to think of what that one... There was one year... Was it last year? Because there was... somebody was sending us some good Google Earth shots, actually. I think it was one of their really, really early streams. And it was like, yeah, look at this link on Google Earth. Right, you know, you're in the... Turn the camera around and then boom, in the sky. You're like, what the hell is that? There were some good ones there. Yep, no NHS or a paying VAT. Yeah, well, swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You know, when we register the thing off of Jersey, then you know we're in the pennies then. And tuning in from North Devon, there, good to have you in there, ads. So North Devon as well. I've got some friends in North Devon, and I hate to say it, their sky's slightly better than ours there as well. And Janie as well there, feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
Thank you for those ones too. 130 miles to go. That's not far enough, is it, for it to not be dark yet? I mean, it's not dark here. It looks it to the eye, but you're all right. It isn't fully dark yet. We've still got all the blue. So that is the last bit of daylight, and as the sun goes further around, it's going to get darker. We can already see the purple of Vega. We're going to see more moving objects, more colours, more stars. There's a faint one. It can't quite track there, but let's zoom in on this one.
Zoom mode activated.
We are going to see more of these. You can just about see the white bit in the target there. We're going to see more and more of those tonight. I'm going to zoom out so we can keep an eye on it. We need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That is how we know that it is something a little bit more anomalous than the rest of the man-made objects flying around up there. Now, we know that there are these things that we're seeing now. Again, statistically, they're most likely to be man-made satellites. It's just a numbers game. We've put a lot of crap up there. But there is an undisclosed large number of these sorts of things that have been spotted up there and recorded, so it's not to dispute there is something up there, well before man had satellites up there, and we can't think of an organic explanation for them. Apparently Space Force do track them, and they are highly anomalous.
Zoom mode activated.
Uncorrelated targets, I think, is the official term. Strange stuff that we monitor, we track within our atmosphere. We don't know what it is or where it's come from, but we don't believe it's just the normal space detritus. And if it is, it's something that we have not considered, or we can't think about what it could be. Isle of Man is also a crown dependency as well. See, all these dependents, got to cut them loose. I'm joking. There, Mr. X as well there. Oh, it's the message just got redacted, so I can't see what it is. Try rewording it and maybe it'll come through. Great skies here when standing along the coastal path there, away from the village light pollution. I mean, I imagine like the collective effect as well. So you're going to have your village, your more immediate light pollution. But, you know, if it's a smaller village as well, I think, you know, when you get out of it, you've probably got absolutely amazing skies there. One day, when we do get the show on the road, we've actually, for our tour, our UFO hotspot tour, we have added, I think it's Bodminmore. I think it's Bodminmore, it's the one that we normally go to, as one of our locations to do a Skywatch from. Not because it's a particular UFO hotspot, but just because I think it'd be so cool to do it there on a really dark night. Spare Rib is in there, and Cash, great work. Thank you there, Cash. Where are you joining us from? Good to have you in. And I could see a few stars last night. Always trying to track some there. To see a few stars last night, but it was pretty hazy there. And hopefully tonight I might see a shooting star or two. We've got the new shooting star tracker up there. So the mods, guys, just like with the grid. So if you do see something on screen, if the tracker is not, if I'm not paying enough attention to it, or if the tracker hasn't picked it up, you can drop that grid reference in the stream there, and then the mods will, if they're free enough, they've got enough hands free, they'll press the interactive grid, but they can also do it now with the shooting stars. We can tally those up as we go in there. Gandalf is in the house. And does it... Oh, stop glitching now. I think your Wi-Fi was playing out. No, we definitely glitched over on the TikTok. It normally does it once or twice a night. Just for some reason it goes, nope, and then it sorts itself out. One day we'll get fibre here. Do you ever receive anything from pulsars? Oh, RA, we haven't as far as I know. But the problem is my level of ignorance around especially doing our SETI streams is knows no bounds. We perfectly fumble our way through the small bit that we do. So I don't even know what sort of part of the spectrum the pulsars would come through on. Pulsars are very interesting. We do think they are, organic. They're, stars after a certain state. They're emitting those radio signals as they rotate. Are they to do with their magnetic field, isn't it, or something? But maybe an alien, a life form out there, an advanced race could be using those as sort of an interstellar GPS. The annual Skywatch at Cradle Hill, Warminster. It's Saturday the 29th of August. Oh, 8 p.m. there, Max, Mr. X there. Appreciate that. So, I haven't gone, because I thought last year, it was going to be the Sunday, because it's the bank holiday, and there was an event on the Sunday, but no, apparently it's a Saturday. So this year, I'm going to show up, and hopefully we can make some new friends, because I said Gandalf was part of that, or is part of that community as well in the chat. But I don't really know anybody from the original that period of time there, so I think it'd be fantastic too. I've only just read the books. I'm an eager enthusiast there as well, so I'll definitely be up there. I think it's your birthday as well. I'm a friend on that birthday as well. What was 9 months before that? It must have been it was your parents' Christmas present, wasn't it? There we go. That was 9 months. Yeah, I've got the maths right there. And just got a fibre here on the Isle of Lewis. How have you got fibre? And I'm still on pretty much dial-up here. Gandalf will be there. Well, then we'll definitely see you guys there. We'll crash the party. And that was part of the inspiration for doing this stream. It was that, bringing it into the 21st century of what you guys used to do back in the day. Can we do it, but open it up to more people? Where are we there? Still a little learning that. I listen to a lot of shortwave signals. I think it's so interesting, but I'm also so rubbish at these things. I'll hyper-focus for short periods of time, and then you'll see a new feature, and then I'll forget everything I've learnt. So yeah, jack of all trades, a master of very few there, if any. Going to quickly bounce back over to the TikToks there, and the old wrinkles will be out. Again, the people that had first-hand experience. I'll be very much looking forward to meeting some people there. TikTok Ram Raiders is in. Thank you for the gift there. And Daily Nugget of Nuki, how are ya? How have you been? Good to see you in there as well. God, I really do fancy doing a bit of surfing down in Nuki. Got me missing my younger days. Where did we get to into the chat here? And John there, you ever seen anything you couldn't explain? Yeah. Now, just because I can't explain it doesn't necessarily mean it's alien. But there are certain things that we're looking out for that if they display that behaviour, there isn't a very good explanation, be it, satellite, shooting star, plane or drone there. So we're looking at quite a high altitude. So when we do have planes go over, you can kind of see they are much lower there. Same for drones as well. They appear quite large on the screen. So this normally gives us a good little indicator that what we're tracking at the minute, these things are, man-made objects in orbit. And yeah, so therefore, if they're up there, outside of our atmosphere, they have to obey certain rules. They're falling to Earth in a big circle. They can't just stop dead and move around willy-nilly. Any slight adjustments to their course or trajectory take a very long time. So if we see, for example, one of these objects, where's my cursor? There it is. One of these objects here, like this big bright one here, if we see that stop dead or do a right angle turn or a zigzag or something like that, that is highly anomalous. Now, I don't know what it is. Is it ET waving as he goes by, or is it something a little bit stranger? Not quite sure. I haven't got the data to tell that, but we do see stuff like that occasionally. Then there's this middle of the road bit, which is coloration, flashing. You just kind of get a gut feeling after a while. Doesn't mean that it's 100% can't be something man-made, but you do it for it and you go, that's unique. There's a few times we've seen things that, again, they're not displaying the behaviour there that means they're 100% not man-made, but you go, this is highly strange. I don't know what the explanation is. Normally the skies are quite fruitful. We are in a bit of a UFO hotspot here, a long history of the strange and anomalous here in Wiltshire, right in the heart of Crop Circle country. There you go, TikTok. How are you doing tonight, Ram Raiders? And oh, yesterday you saw a flying saucer. My mum went mad there, Luca. I would love to see. Tell us more about the sighting. That sounds fantastic, because I would love to actually see the classic saucer shape that I haven't seen. We've seen the strange lights, the movement, but I don't know if I've directly seen the shape of the craft there. Jan as well. Thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? And user 77 there. Hi. I'm getting so used to seeing UFOs now, and I want to know what tech is hiding. I think we can all definitely. I think we can all definitely, appreciate that. We're getting to the point now where, especially for us in our community, we spent a lot of time looking at all this sort of stuff. We're deep in it there. We're like, come on, guys, just tell us. Just tell us now. They're nice. We're in Anuki. I've got such a fond spot for Anuki there as well. Such a fun spot for it there. Many memories back in the day, and it's been so long since I have been, because I'm not driving. I haven't been driving for the last 10 years nearly now. Oh God, I miss it so much there. How are the skies because it's not a massive place. I imagine it's got a bit of light pollution, but if you're looking out over the sea, are they still pretty clear for anomalies? Drewski is in. We're all good, Drewski. How about yourselves there? Oscar is in too, and I think you do quite well as a sports commentator. Luca, thank you. I know nothing about sports at all. I don't know much about this, but sports is even less there. I literally, Oscar, I saw the trailer today. What did you think of it there? Amanda is in too. Good to see there. Jay as well. Welcome in. Let's go to there. Very clear at the moment. I am very jealous there. That is in my head on a stressful day. My happy place is, oh my God, I'm forgetting the names. Porth Beach. The Mermaid Inn on Porth Beach. There is something about the way that the beach blends into beer garden, blends into pub, that has always captured a little bit of magic for me. Where are we there as well? The trailer was amazing there. RDJ's accent was that surprising. I did wonder if they were going to recognize him being in it twice or something, but yeah, that was interesting. I thought, right, we're still getting the false tracks tonight. I have to type something. I think the atmosphere is a little bit jazzy. If we zoom in, you can see how much some of these stars are moving around. They're jumping, and that is kind of tricking the tracker into thinking that there is movement. It was doing this last night, but I don't want to turn the sensitivity down too much, because then we can definitely see that we're going to miss this fainter one here. Oh no, it still tried it, but it's also still trying to falsely track that one as well. I think it's just sort of an atmospheric quiver, part of just, the roll of the dice of how the sky is tonight. But yeah, lots of moving objects up there. Keep spotting them, guys. Don't fully rely on the tracker. As you can see, look, it's giving some false positive. Those ones aren't doing anything anomalous, but it hasn't got the alignment quite right. So it's telling us that it is strange because it's far away from its predicted line, but it just got it wrong. That is the equivalent of dark matter right there. It's the error was made in the maths, but they're blaming something else for it. Where are we? Over the chat there. Oh, you was there tonight for Sunset and a Lusty Glaze. Oh, the night before. I am so jealous. There's something about that part. I think it's because Porth Beach was like the first place I stayed there. I think when I was God, I was like 18 or something. So it always has those fond memories of stumbling in that little walk along the cliff from Porth Beach into Nuki there, into the Weatherspoons. It being rather worse for where I was stumbling back. And a Doom stomping a Stormbreaker was there as well. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in quite a while there, because Iron Man was the only one I liked from it. So if he's in this, that might get my attention. Probably not for Spider-Man. These cinemas are just too expensive, far too expensive there. And I found anything recently. Have we? We've had some anomalies. We had one the other night. Was it? No, I don't think it was last night. I think it was the night before, where the tracker, we wouldn't have seen it without the tracker, because it would have just looked straight-ish to the eye. But as the tracker plotted its course along the sky, I might just turn the tracker sensitivity up a little bit more, even though we're going to get some false positives, because we're missing some fainter ones. Oh no, there's too many false positives there, I think. Oh, sod it. I'm going to leave that on like that for a second. But yes, as it draws the line behind it of where it's gone. What happened, if you watch my mouse, is it went like that and it went up, then it went down, then it kind of like that. And it's like, I can understand the curvature to the Earth coming in for certain ones, but that was really strange. I'm not quite sure what to make of it there. Where are we there? Stomping Stormbreaker with his 2 fingers. I might have not seen that part of the trailer. It's all up in the air if Iron Man will be in it there. I reckon he'll cameo, but not key role. Well, that would be interesting if they did have it side by side. That, I think, would be a cool bit of cinema there. And Harko, how are you doing tonight, sir? Coming in with the stickers there and the gifts as well. Nearly missed those. Oh, loads of them there as well. Thank you, guys. All the gifts, the subs, the Patreons, the members, all that jazz there does help us. It goes all back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing there. And Living Light, saw that pop up for guys. Alan as well. Did you miss something, Kate? No, just the normal. You're in on time. Don't worry, Kate. Chris Everett, RDJ, it's the full lineup. It's the full lineup. I don't even think I've seen X-Men there. And Janice as well, thank you for the likes, guys. It's the likes, the shares, the tapping away, and all that jazz that helps us reach more and more open-minded, intelligent people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds on the phenomena can all help us a piece of this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience with the highly strange that they are going to share. That is the one thing that has changed my understanding and appreciation of the phenomena the most. There is hearing all of your accounts about the range of experiences and just how bloody many. Where are we over on the tubes now? So yeah, do say hello and let us know where you're all watching from tonight and ask away any questions that you may have. We want to hear from you all there. No silly questions at all. So if you're curious, somebody else in the chat will be, and they're not brave enough to say, so they'll appreciate you asking. It will be the bank holiday for that meetup there. And adds there, 2 years ago, we witnessed 2 F-15s chasing a bright red orb. They put their afterburners on and the UAP passed over the house and the aircraft could not catch up and it shot off at incredible speeds there. Adds, whereabouts in the world was that? Because this is the thing, isn't it? If they can't catch up with it, that is, leading, cutting edge, or the bleeding edge of military technology. Now, we can understand maybe they've got a few experimental test aircraft or a couple of really, really special super secret ones that they might keep for special occasions. Like, that's possible, but they're going to be what, 10%, 20% faster, 10% smaller radar profile. They're going to be increments of the progression of technology. But when you see something that just acts in a totally different way, it's playing by different rules like that sort of speed change there against the latest and greatest, that it really goes. I don't think we're talking about secret tech, and there might be some part of the phenomenon that I do lean into the reverse engineering. Feels very plausible to us, but for me, a reverse engineered craft there or technology based on that is pretty much the same as a UFO. Usually in one of the local drinking houses beforehand, I can imagine so. We have to let us which one, and wish a UFO would come and get me. Illusion after illusion. I think there's going to be a queue. We need to do boarding passes. There's a few people that feel that, but I definitely appreciate the sentiment there. But no, I've got to be here. We've got to do the work. We've got to figure it out for ourselves. And no reports, but others must have seen it there, as it was 12:30, and then the aircraft was chasing very large, very strange. So other people probably did see it, but it might not have registered to them as strange or strange in the right way. You just think how many people up there that don't really think about aliens. They might have seen a couple of films on TV, but they're not against it and they're not for it. They just don't think about it. Maybe they're walking their dog early hours of the morning, late at night, whatever it might be, and they do see a light in the sky maybe moving a little bit funny, and they'd probably just assume it's a satellite, if they're even looking up in the first place. How many people heard the noises that you heard, maybe caught a glimpse of it and went, oh cool, look, fighter planes, and didn't even click the real interesting bit, which is what they're chasing. It's only that we have the knowledge, isn't it, that we can kind of know that something is strange. Otherwise we might not notice that it is out of place. How many sightings are out there that people have just put in that little box of and not more than that. And Mr. X there, paranormal hotspot up the old barn in the Cops on Cradle Hill. So I didn't know about that at all. Only was reading one of the books the other day, but Gandalf was mentioning that as well. And again, that's going to be very interesting. We know we'll be up there probably more over winter, because obviously when we get cloudier skies, it's harder to get the camera out. And we didn't do too badly last year, but we did have that run, didn't we, of 50 days with no bloody clear skies. So it was a lot of alien radio signal hunts, because, guys, that's what we do when it does get cloudy. We do an alien radio signal hunt, like the film Contact. We're listening out on the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorize that if ET is out there, this is where they'd put the messages where the wow signal was heard. And if the moon's up, we have a look there as well. So make sure you're following and subscribed wherever you are, so you get those notifications, hopefully, when we go live, but pretty much every night. But anyway, I was saying, we're going to have a lot of those radio signal hunts during the winter. And I was thinking about spicing it up with a little bit of the spookier stuff as well. But I didn't know of any good sort of local locations. But that could be a really, really good one to do. Because the signal up on Cradle Hill is far better than the signal I get on my mobile down here. So it shouldn't be too hard to stream to. And it was no reports, but others must have seen. Oh no, I did that bit. And as well, and more people are now believing that aliens and UFOs are angels and demons there. What's your thoughts? I find this absolutely fascinating. So I think that we can't discount knowing how human psychology works. We don't necessarily perceive or understand whatever we witness. Our brains are always trying to filter it out. Trying to understand something from the ground up is very expensive for calories. So we're always looking for a metaphor or an analogy. Is this thing like this thing? Oh, look, that pickup truck is like my mini car, but it's got a flat bit in it that I can put tools in the back. You know, it's what I know about a car: 4 wheels, turn the key, this is how you drive it. All of that stuff is done. Don't have to waste calories thinking about that, but this is the change to it. So our brains are always trying to frame things through what we understand. It's very difficult to outright understand. Think of a caveman with an iPhone. They'll go shiny rock. That's the closest comparison they can get to it, isn't it? So we don't necessarily be able to understand something there. So I definitely think there is a good chance that the angels and the demons analysis and understanding of this could be just people back in the day with the best tools that they had, trying to understand what their experiences were. The same as you go forward a bit, the folklore, the fairy, the fae, all sounds like a very similar experience. When you look at the objective experiences rather than that interpretive level, the overlaid, then it looks interesting. It looks like we're seeing the same sort of thing, and it's no coincidence that as soon as we started to put men in big metal spaceships and point them up to the night sky looking to go to other planets there, or was just thinking about doing it, then all of a sudden we start to interpret the phenomena in the same way. It's people from other planets in metal spaceships coming down here to Earth. Now, I don't know which of those understandings is going to be more correct than the other. Maybe they're all correct. Maybe none of them are. Or maybe one is, the overriding one. Maybe they are biblical demons. But I think my first default position, without knowing more, is that it's probably just we're all describing the same thing in a different way. I would imagine. But that's not to discount the other things. But I think that would be my starting point. And you have to go up to the barn with us there. No cows. Gandalf, can you promise me no cows? I mean, barns do sound like a cow location. And I did read about some experiences that were had up there as well, which were kind of scary there. And Terry, where can we see some recordings of the anomalies that you have seen whilst tracking? On the TikTok they're posted. There might be some on the YouTube shorts. And where are we as well? The no sound from the object as it passed overhead. Again, one of the what do they call it there? The observables. So that ridiculous speed. The lack of sound. Because even if the actual propulsion system itself was silent, so you didn't have a combustion engine going bang 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 away. Rotor blades. We're parting air, moving through air. That actually makes a sound in of itself. And so what the hell? It's not just some sort of modern technology. At the minute that breaks our current physics there. And where illusion is, I reckon they are us after a nuclear war. They could be. There is a lot of evidence. I mean, what is the chances that, if people's reports like the Greys and things like that, if they are as people are describing, what is the chances of convergent evolution there, of evolution converging on such a similar layout, fingers, hands, arms, heads, you can imagine a few things in line. Evolution does like to, if something is a good structure, lots of things have independently evolved into crabs, but they're not quite the same, and it looks again very similar. I think vultures are another one as well, so what's looking exactly like us, I say exactly, but very, very close to us. So us further down the train there, or maybe a side species off this. I think there's got to be some connection if those experiences are real there. So maybe that in the future there. Rocket there, Cash, I love it there. And Amanda, how are you doing? And is that you on here, Colin from Martin? Oh, I don't know. Is that? Oh, it is there. Oh, there we go. Look, you know each other. And living like good evening. How the devil are you there? And got a new gadget to try up there this time. Oh, what have you got there? I want to hear about that, Mr. X. What works for you guys on the field? Because occasionally we go up to some of those locations locally around here. We do the Skywatch on locations. The Battlesbury is an easy one for us. You can get quite close to that. That we do, and we've had some very interesting sightings up there. But what do you think? What bits of kit have worked for you in the past there? Trevor, how are you doing? And I just ordered the Dwarf Lab Dwarf Mini Smart Scope there to start with, and had a good result with the digital image and intensifiers, but wanted something a bit different. Those smart scopes look really, really cool. Some of the things they're capable of doing now. We would like to get, probably, I think it's the Dwarf 3 that has a UFO mode, uses its wide field camera to just keep a lookout for movement in the night sky, and then if it gets it, it will track it along and zoom in on it. Absolutely cool bit of kit. So we love that. He's looking hot at the minute this time of year, isn't it? There, and Dog is in as well. Space Friends, good to see you in. Where are we? If you could fund an observatory on there, where would it be? Good question, Stuart. I suppose it'll be. There are better parts of the world to have an observatory, aren't there? Because of, the clarity of the skies, how often the skies are cloud free and all that sort of thing. But I think for what I'm really, what we're interested in doing, it's got to be somewhere that has the history. So to be honest, I don't know if there is a better place than here. The more I read about the phenomena that happened here in Warminster in the 60s and 70s, the more interested I am in it. The more I think that this is probably one of the strongest hotspots there is internationally for it. So I don't know if there would be a better place. Definitely for clearer skies there. Humans are... All right, we're many things. That's one of them. And Paul, there, I've had dealings with demons there, and trust me, demons are very real there. And many of the alien abductions have been cruel, sadistic, and malevolent in full metal jacket. So that's a good point, Paul. So this is the thing. Do you think that the abductions, the UFO phenomena that is described at the minute, do you think that could have like a real classic biblical angels and demons source to it, or do you think some people are conflating the biblical aliens and aliens with demons? There we go, get some words out there. Do you think it's that, or is there still the extraterrestrial component to it? And what's your view on Skinwalker Ranch there? Don't forget they had a budget of 22 million to investigate. Jesus Christ, you give me 22 million, I would have got that done by now. There are some people that do things and some people that plan things. Jesus Christ, that is ridiculous. 22 million, yeah, no, that would have been sorted. There would have been a hole in the side of the mace. I would have dug it out myself. It wouldn't have taken me 10 minutes. The old man on the digger, bish bash bosh, would have been done. I liked it until you said they've had $22 million and they haven't sorted it out yet. And could tattoos be portals there? So get the UFO tattoo and suddenly, boom. Hey, we'll give it a go. We'll get Alan to get one. And he's already got one. It's Kiss Me Quick. I don't want to tell you where it is, though. Emilio, how are you doing? We're all good here. And the silence from the orb made my missus run indoors there. Spooked her out as the F1s came screaming behind her, trying to catch up with it there. What can speed off like that? Did it outfly the... Exactly. What can do those sort of things? And I don't blame her reaction at all. I crave for an experience with the phenomena, but... I would be absolutely Scooby-Doo if I was lucky enough to get the craft land in front of me. I have not got a backbone for all of these things there. It's ancient. Whatever the phenomena is, it has been going on the whole damn time. We need to find, a unified understanding how we can match these theories up. Where do we get to over on the TikTok? DJ Spiner, thank you for the gifts there, Harco, and Carl as well. Carl feeding Alan.
Nom, nom, nom.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that, guys. It all goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing. But if you are just joining us, we are doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch. Coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of weird and wonderful things in these night skies. Do help us spot the strange and anomalous. And say hello, let us know where you're all watching from tonight. But we're on every night, so give us a follow and then you'll be able to get those notifications to catch us for the rest of this heat wave. We're going to have lots of clear skies. Oscar's mum, hello. Hope you're well and he's not too much trouble. Shows what I was watching. That strange guy sitting in a green room every night there staring at the sky. And is it Dopers are there before 3 nights on sky around 21:15. There was 3 dots on our sky there forming perfect triangles. When you see that geometry that you wouldn't see necessarily out there in nature or in the night sky, it immediately catches you, and that's that gut feeling. You know, we even if we're not conscious, we are paying attention, we are taking it in from our experiences. It's not ever 100%, but you know, you never see that formation, do you, normally? And you know, and it will jump out to you just like that. There is one satellite formation at the minute, which is a gravitational wave detector, I think, that is flying around up there, and that is in 3 dots in a perfect triangle. We've seen that a few times, but I don't think you can see it with your naked eye. I don't think it's bright enough for that. So that does raise an interesting point, because there are a lot of reports of a potential reverse engineered triangular craft called the TR-3B from the Americans, using the alien technology, if it's real, and that has the lights in the corners too. But I think we saw it once. There was one time we had the 3 dots and it was blacked out behind it as if it was a solid object there. It's absolutely phenomenal. Where did you see that one, Dopaz? And Derek there as well. So are most of them satellites? Just statistically, most of them are going to be. We've got about 15,000 or so of them up there in the night sky at the minute. 10,000 or so of those are Starlink alone. So yeah, over the last couple of years, it's really grown. So most of them, yeah, are going to be, sadly, man-made satellites, but not all of them. And that is why we're hunting. That's why we've got the tracker to help us. So we are looking out for the ones that act a little bit strangely. The ones that stop dead, shoot off at speed, or change their course or trajectory. That tells us for sure that they are something a little bit stranger indeed. Oh, it's trying to track the background noise there. In fact, I might spin the camera around. We've got a lovely star in shot at the minute here. This is Vega, 26 light years from us here on Earth. It burns a lot hotter than our star, the Sun, and much brighter, hence why we can see it so brightly there. But it won't last as long. That is still having a lot of a jazz now, isn't it? With there we go. That's calmed it down. Or is that one coming in? It is actually tracking one now. There we go. So it should go green in a second when it gets its predicted course. There we go. So follow that one across the screen. We're looking for it to stop dead, shoot off at speed. Oh, there's another one down. There's another 2. There we go. Get a quiet patch, and then we get all those coming in. But we need them to stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. So yeah, statistically, they are most likely going to be satellites, most of these. The ones that move in that strange way that I just described, they are 100% not man-made satellites, not shooting stars, not space junk. If it moves like that, we do not know what the hell it is. We've got no ideas. Nobody has any good ideas other than ET. But we can't say for sure, because that's all the data we have. You know, we can't zoom in and see them waving. But they're definitely very strange. But if they don't do anything strange, doesn't 100% mean that they're not anomalous either. It just means we don't have enough information down here to prove it either which way. In fact, so these things were seen up there in the night sky. Not as many, obviously, but you know, this is just light being reflected, those objects in orbit, and this was seen well into the past. There, well before man had satellites up there. So there is something strange going on in the night sky over the years. But yeah, statistically, if it doesn't do anything strange, it's most likely going to be a man-made satellite, but not 100%. Where do we get to in the chat? Sorry guys, I'm just scrolling through, and I have so many videos on your profile. Oh, Derek, next time you post one, tag us in it, and then I'll be able to catch it there. And where in the sky is this being shot there? I feel like you get better chances over the oceans or the woods with elk. Oh, so we don't get elk in this country. So we're based in Wiltshire in the UK, so just down the road from Stone Henge, where all the crop circles happen that you see. So this is a bit of a UFO hotspot, a long history of strange things going on all the time here, especially UFOs. In the 60s and 70s, it was a real hotbed. You could turn up pretty much any weekend and have an experience. It was crazy. So it's a bit of a hotbed. But you're right with the oceans and things like that. The problem is the oceans are just larger, so you know it's picking the right patch. But one day we do want to hire a boat and see if we can get some USO activity, I should say. And I think they are messengers. That they may well be. They may well be. Lots of people do report that, you know, they're having this connection, and they do have a message, whether it's, you know, take care of your planet, stop playing with nuclear weapons and things like that. Angels as well. Well, I always go back to the fact that I don't know how different an angel and an alien necessarily could be, or do they have to be that much different? Because to us, you know, feel that much more advanced. You know, for me, it starts to blur into one. The categories aren't as distinct. And how you doing, Drewski? You got to be up at 6 a.m. Well, thank you for popping by for a bit there. Hopefully it's not too bad a day there. Yes, angels and demons there. I mean, maybe. I find it interesting that if there is a civilization out there that has, say, warp drive technology, the ability to traverse these distances incredibly fast, that's going to require a lot of energy. It's the main reason we don't have it. We know how to build one. We just don't have the energy to run it. But if you have that much energy, that is dangerous. that goes boom. So your society, your civilization has to be stable enough that if that technology is available, that you are not going to blow yourself up with it. And we look to ourselves, we have all these differences, these frictions, we would blow ourselves up with these things. So it strikes me that actually an advanced civilization would have to be, and this isn't my idea, I can't remember the chap who said it, but it's brilliant when they pointed it out to me. He said that, you know, either the civilization that has this technology has either got to be so regimented, so everybody thinks the same, so homogenous there, no deviation of character, no emotions, you know, because then they're not going to have a problem with each other, and then they won't blow themselves up with the technology, right? Or they've got to be so independent, so out for themselves, so selfish that, you know, they can blow each other up, but there's such minimal damage because people aren't interconnected in the same way, not in this way that we are meshed now. And he said basically angels and demons, and I was like, oh, that was a good connection there. That does make a lot of sense. And no, brother, demons are real then. I've seen them since I was 4. So I wouldn't say that demons aren't real or anything like that. But do you think that it could be the case that, you know, if there is an angels and demons in a biblical sense, that maybe people were seeing the phenomena, whatever it is that we're seeing today, and then kind of overlaying the same thing, thinking they're the same thing? Or are they the same thing with that? Have you ever spotted anything, Dabs? Yes, we have. We've had a quiet few weeks. We did see something, not last night, the night before, which is still scratching my head. The tracker picked it up, and I wouldn't have noticed it without the tracker, because this is actually quite new. But we watched the line that it drew, and it went over the line, and it went under the line, and went to go back over. So that is very, very strange. You know, we can't think of what would do that. Satellites just don't move in that sort of way. So I'm trying to figure out if there is a technical angle. Could it be the lens, you know, sort of causing that effect? But that was very, very interesting. And David as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And R4 just managed to get on here. It's all going well. It's a lovely clear sky. So I'm looking forward to tonight's. And what's there? That's like the worst fear of mine. Someone I know turning up here. This is because I don't use these platforms for those sorts of things. Like I can't. It is very detached, you know. Like this isn't my other life with other people, and that I always get the side eye from them going, aliens, really? But every now and again, it's not happened that often, but I've had it a couple of times where I've recognised the username pop up, and I'm like, shit. There, Jamie as well. What are the green lines? Brilliant spotting there. So this is their track. That's a nice bright one. Can we catch
Zoom
it?
mode activated.
Look at how big and bright that one is. Look, compared to that one down there as well, the differences are insane. Not necessarily anomalous, but still can be quite interesting. But yeah, basically they're a tracking light system there. So what those little target symbols are is it's trying to identify movement on the screen. So it won't pick up that one for some reason. It's missed this one, although it should pick that one up because it's nice and clear. But it's trying to pick up these stars, but bloody missing that one. Anyway, so it's trying to identify the movement, as you see it look down here, then it plots the course that it has been on, right, and therefore it uses that course that it has been on to predict the course that it will be. If it's a man-made satellite, if it's a bit of space junk, if it's just in a normal orbit, it will go on a straight, boring, consistent course there, and so it uses that dashed line to predict the course, and then it follows it along. And if it is being boring, if it's not giving us any evidence to say that it is something special, then it's green. But if it goes red, it means let's pay a little bit of a closer attention to it. Where did we get to? It's just jumped ahead of me. Went down to there. Where did we get to? We got to David in, didn't we, there? And Spider there. All right, but there was a military helicopter around mine last night. They're pure black. Oh, very interesting. Wasn't one of those ones, was it quieter than normal? Because apparently the Americans got the old stealth ones, haven't they? I haven't seen one of them yet, but I'm expecting to over here because we get so much activity. How are you doing there, X? Jesus in the room. And JW, hello again. What is the purple dot? Good question. That is Vega. That is a star about 26 light years away from us here on Earth. Very big, very bright, beautiful star Vega there. See this one, look, it's got the tracking alignment has gone wrong. I'm building it myself, hence why it's not 100%. It's got the alignment wrong. Thought it was going to go in a straight line this way, but it's gone this way. So as it gets further apart there, it's going to go, it's going to think that anomalous. So it's given us a few false positives, but still keep your eyes on them, because that is how we notice those strange ones the other night. Where? Oh my God, where are we? God, where did we get to? We got DJ in, we got JW, didn't we? And then we got to Jamie TJT there. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from? And Big D as well. Thank you for the follow. Guys, do say hello. Let us know who you're watching from. Take me a few minutes. I'm working my way through the TikTok chat, and then I'll be back over on the YouTubes. But yeah, do say hello. Ask away any questions. No silly questions here at all. I've got a Beauty and the Beast tattoo there. I can confirm I live with the Beast there. She's saying that your Beauty, yeah, good film though. That was a good film. Have I put my crap tattoo on the Discord yet, so you can laugh at that? I still need to do my emo hair from my emo phase, so you can have a bit of a giggle over that, a giggle. Lee as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us in from tonight? And Moog Moon, how are you doing there? Have you found anything tonight? Not tonight. No, we've only been on. Oh, we've actually nearly been on an hour. That's a bit surprising. Yeah, no, we haven't actually seen anything tonight. But again, with the times that we have, it's normally literally before we just come off and you go, what the hell was that? Harry, welcome aboard. Where are you in from? Guys, do make sure you're following, subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we are on pretty much every night. And if it's a clear sky, as we've got a long run of these ahead of us this week, I think, it is going to be this. It's the UFO UAP Skywatch right in the heart of crop circle country here in the UK and just down the road from Stone Henge. If it's a cloudy night, we get the old dish out there and we listen to the hydrogen line. That is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorise that if ET's out there, this is where they'll put the message. And if the moon's up and I can be bothered, we look at the moon, and we've seen some strange things up there too, so hopefully you'll get those notifications when we go live. And I'm gonna have to do some research there. I need to know everything that you guys do. Ask away, we're all happy for that, and the more people looking, the better. I've seen lots of weird stuff whilst looking up, and if you don't look up, you're not going to see. And I didn't until moving here, where it was clear enough sky, and since looking up, I've seen some very, very strange things. The orbs are made of pure energy. I lean that could be a big part of what we are seeing with the phenomena. Deidre Spider, haven't you? It was just you that have got some good the infrared footage of the orbs and the communication. I'm thinking it was you. You live up in Scotland near the Triangle. The Falkirk Triangle. That is actually on our road trip list. So, guys, at the minute, I said all the gifts, the subs, the members, the merch, all that stuff goes back into the stream. It always does, but we are specifically at the minute saving up to take the show on the road. We want to do a UK hotspot tour. So, the Falkirk Triangle up there in Scotland is one of the locations. But we want to kick it off with Rendlesham Forest, hopefully going to be within the next couple of months, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, live Skywatches on location, I think, from all the places would be very cool. What is the best thing that you've seen up there, Moon? I'd love to hear about what the best thing is. And what is this that you're showing? Rob, good question. So this is the night sky live. So it's about 10 meters in front of me, the camera. In fact, we can move the camera around. I won't in a second because Vega is pretty. But yeah, it's a live feed from the camera looking up to the night sky here, live from Wiltshire in the UK, from a little town called Warminster, in fact. So not only is it right in the heart of crop circle country, as we say, you know, it is also the location of the Warminster thing. And if you've heard about that, it was a UFO flap that went on for about 10 years solid, and still to some degree going on now. It's a strange place, but there was an intense period, about 10 years, where you could show up pretty much any point and there would be an experience. It's not like other places where, oh, there was a sighting and then 5 years later there may have been a sort of another sighting. No, this was absolutely constant, and it had everything: landings, abductions, lights in the sky, missing time, cars stalling, dead animals, like, oh my, anything as far as I. We've got a few of the original Skywatchers in the chat over on YouTube actually who were there at the time, but it's such a phenomenal location for sightings, and we have seen some strange things in doing this. And Pure Gox, how are you there? Some good tracking software, thank you there. We're working on it. It needs work, but once we've got it tracking these a little bit more accurately, it'll be getting it to understand that, you know, and identify the stars that are in shot. Because if we can combine the tracked objects with knowing where it is in the night sky, we can then get it to label the tracked objects. If it is a man-made satellite that's on the list, we'll be able to go what it is, and therefore helping us filter out those ones, because there's a lot of man-made crap up there. It's gonna, you know, we've got to filter that out first. That's why it's a hunt. That's why we're looking out for the anomalous movement there. And Lakoski as well there, thank you for the follow. Good spot in there. Lee Form a bit far behind there, getting a lot of flashes at the moment. See, that's the thing, we get the moving flashes, but we don't get, we haven't had the stationary flashing, which was really interesting since, I don't think since January, maybe. It was the early part of the year there. And Craig says, hi, how are you doing there? The Black Hawk helicopter. Yeah, isn't it like a stealth one I heard of? They did for the Bin Laden raid or something there. Nikki as well, thank you for the follow. Guys, do say hello. Let us know who you're watching from. And Oi Oi, thank you for the gifts. And Carl there too. Chicken over there, I know. It's going to be my new catchphrase there. Mum is saying tattoos are portals. I'm a dragon, as it keeps saying all that. And Divine Essence and Fordy as well there. Thank you for the follows, guys. Do say hello. Almost up to date with the TikToks. I'll be over on the tubes shortly. And it's crazy how much activity there is in the night sky. I've seen so many things. It really is. Like, the first time I got the camera out and got the lens settings right, blew my mind. There was 14 on the screen. I thought it was the invasion coming in. And oh, Cookie, you tried to DM us there. It probably needs to be approved or something. So after the stream, I'll go through and I'll approve that one. Then you should be able to just drop us a message if you need to. There, you're having a day. It's the autocorrect, Kate. It's fine. It's better than what you had said the other day, which was not statements, wasn't it? There's another word that you got replaced there. And the one zipping across my sky now, zigzagging there, always here. See, that for us is the rarest, the zigzagging. That sort of anomalous movement is the rarest, but it's also the most important there, because that defies, you know, the explanation of man-made object if it is up there behaving like that. And oi oi in the house. Flatland as well, thank you for the follow. And be good if you could do the moon for a week there to see if you could track anything. Oh, the difficulty we have with the moon, and that's why I say if we can be bothered, is because when it is up and in range, we've only got a short window from our position where we normally see the moon from. So it's either always there or it then disappears for 6 months. Not fully, but, you know, to get good shots. But the little tracker that we've got at the minute, it's not really strong enough for the lens, so I have to have it on at a certain angle, so then as the moon's like rising, the weight of the camera kind of pulls it up to go with it. Because of the Earth's rotation, it's not the moon moving, it's us, but it looks like the moon is moving like that sort of speed, so I'm constantly having to do this with it there. I am looking at another one to replace that. You noticed that one, though. And what's the purple light there, Dirty? That is a Vega. It's a star 26 light years from us here on Earth, burning much hotter and much brighter than our star there. Won't last as long, but it is a beautiful companion for our summer sky watches. And last night there was 2 of them that crossed each other's flight path. Now, we do see the straight ones crossing their path, but I haven't seen the zigzagging ones. That would be awesome to catch on camera there. Good one there, Pure. And hopefully it's on my next to-do list other than the location for everything. Should we actually do a quick check, guys? Let's check that before I go over to the tube. So I'm at the bottom of TikTok now. Let's check, is there anything in the local... Why is my thing not working? There we go. Have we got any planes in the local area we need to be aware of? There is, looks like in the southwest, northwest, we've got a couple, but that isn't really where we're pointing the camera. So, is that going to work? That's not frustrating at all. There we go. So that helps us to see if we do get an observation, then we can check to see if we have got anything on screen there. That's a new feature. We've got a few of those as well. Peter as well, thank you for the follow. Right, over onto the tubes. Where did we get to? Your Liberty, how are you doing? Thank you for feeding Alan. Where are we? In the chat. Where did we get to? We got to Emilio, didn't we? It's ancient, that is it. Oh, an illusion of delusions. Why do you think aliens don't interact with more humans? I would think that it's going to be like a numbers thing, isn't it there? So if we go, and it's again, not everything is going to be the extraterrestrial component with it. There's Scooby as well, feeding Alan, thank you.
Guys.
It's not going to all be extraterrestrial. In fact, most of it probably isn't. But just for simple sake, if it was extraterrestrials, well, there's probably not going to be that many of them coming over. So if you imagine if we were sending ships to another planet, like, I mean, just look at Star Trek, you know, how many people do they interact with on one of those episodes where they go down to the planet? It's normally like a handful. So I'd imagine by the reports that we get, it kind of fits with that explorer vibe. You know, there's a few people there, you know, that they're just... but this is where I also get the... this misalignment when we do get the messages from them there, like, you know, oh, look after your planet and all that. I'm like, do you really care at all, or are you just making conversation? Is that alien small talk? Because if you really did care, there'd be better ways to tell us that and to tell us how important it is, you know, than it there. You know, just telling the odd random person. It's like if I flew to Zeta Reticuli and whispered into an alien child's ear, you gotta be careful, blah blah blah. You know, what good's that gonna do? And if they're that advanced to travel the galaxy, then I think they would know that. But I think at the minute it does fit with you know, there's just not a lot of them here, whatever that is. There's a limited, you know, it probably points to a clue to what could be going on there. And Trevor, it's probably like the M5 motorway there. Don't bother stopping at Exeter. There's nothing to see there. Just keep going to Bristol. Yeah, just lock your doors. Keep going, lads. And adds as well, what follows a shooting star and then does a complete U-turn and disappears back the way it came. And that was seen here a week ago, and the same red orb. So nothing mainstream explanation for that sort of thing. Because again, at these altitudes, everything it's not like flying around within our atmosphere. It's not the same rules that apply. Everything up there it's in motion, it's falling, there's no friction, there's no atmosphere. So yeah, all of these satellites we're seeing now, they're falling to Earth in a big circle. And in the same way that I can't, if I jumped off my roof, stop and just go sideways, do a 90 degree, I'd need a jetpack, I'd need a lot of energy. Same is true for these objects up there. But the problem is that because that's a lot of motion they're working with, so if you want to go against that, it's a hell of a lot of energy. We just don't have the technology of fuel, basically. It's not so much the motors and the jets to kind of do that, it's more having the fuel that you don't use it instantly trying to do one thing. So any of the movements that they can do, whether it's altitude adjustments or slight course corrections, are very subtle, and like they're done over the course of multiple orbits, so we wouldn't see it here or there. So that sort of behavior that you're describing there is nothing for it. If you're confident that it was up there at comet level and it wasn't like a drone that was lower, then that is incredibly strange, full on anomalous. Where I would personally lean is more towards the plasmoids, the idea that there could be sentient plasma life here on Earth that's been here the whole time. That feels like that to me. And down there is Jebediah Kerman there. He does the hoop transfer to Mun. We played a bit of Kerbal last year in the winter when it got a bit tedious with all those cloudy nights, and we named all the Kerbals after you guys, and we lost quite a few of you, sadly. We'll have to do that next year. Oh, and it's okay, like aliens like squirrels too there. We don't need the elk. I'd love to see some though. But yeah, squirrels, plenty of bloody squirrels. Isn't owls was another one that's connected to it. As long as it's not cows, though, because I've had some creepy experiences with cows late at night there, and I don't want to think that was some sort of experience there. And living light, what if some people we meet, strangely wise and oddly timed, aren't quite human at all? It's another past possibility, and I think one of the best cases of this, going back to like looking to folklore as clues of what might be going on to some degree, exactly the sort of story that you would hear about, certain wise people appearing. And think of how much that story, take the aliens out for a second, but how many times have we heard about stories of just weird and paranormal along those sorts of lines, getting those messages and things. So maybe I could well be related to that. It's a good angle, living light. And Dot there, Gloucestershire here, not far from us at all. I love that. How are your skies tonight there, Dot? And adds there, 3 different family members have seen this object over a 2-week period there. We do live near an Air Force base. Well, so there could be an indicator there, because, I mean, there is a heightened amount of sightings around military activity, but mostly nuclear. They do, especially the plasma ones, they do seem to be really interested in nuclear sites, whether it's nuclear energy, nuclear mining, testing, engineering, or weapons there. So no, any nuclear weapons on the particular base there, because that could be part of the attraction for them. Harko there, what kind of object? Oh, I don't know for that one. And entities with a different vibrations and intentions, probably many kinds, going from fully physical to non-physical. Bang on there, Prof. Bang on. We're constantly trying to look for one explanation. Is it ET coming from a different planet? And if so, which planet is they coming from? More than likely, look, if there's one ET out there, there's going to be thousands, if not a lot bloody more than that. And if there is, one of them travelling here, there's going to be more travelling here. The technology is possible then, so it's going to be multiple. But again, not just ET from different planets out there or different star systems. You've got the dimensional angle to this. You've got the consciousness. You've got the time angle. Maybe civilizations here all along. Just talk about the plasmoids there. That is life form that would be so different to anything that we've recognised. The true nature of the universe is going to be far stranger than we can really even probably conceive of right now. So I think bang on with that one. And if we are being visited there, how did they know we are here? Good question, the monkey. So there's a couple of ways, but so the obvious one that we see a lot in films is picking up our radio signals there. So we leak a lot of radio signals out naturally there. So even our Wi-Fi, in effect, that's going to radiate out there, but it's a very, very weak signal, so it won't go far before it's just really undetectable there. Same really with our TV and our, like, you know, our FM AM radio stations there. They're not that powerful. They do technically go out there, and the trope in film is that, you know, there's somebody on a planet far away there, and they're going to be watching Hitler's speech at the Olympics there and going, what are all these humans like? That technically is possible, but they'd need a really, really sensitive dish, like a planet-sized dish, to be able to detect how faint that would be at these distances. But we can draw a big circle. We can say, that speech from Hitler was 36, so 90 years ago that was. So 90 light years away, they would have, anywhere in that circle, they would have heard that broadcast if they had a powerful enough or sensitive enough ear, a dish to pick that up. But the other thing that people don't often consider is that Earth has been screaming that it's got biological life here for the last 2 billion years. So any civilization that has got the technology that we have now, if they've had that technology at any point in the last 2 billion years and looked at Earth, they would be able to see that there are gases in our atmosphere that are only made by life. And if they've done it in the last few hundred years, they'll see the techno-signature of man-made industrial processes and gases and things to that measure as well. So you can do it passively, and we're starting to do this now, hence we have the technology, and it's just the early stages, so it's hard to get conclusive, but we are looking to a lot of these other stars out there. And now, again, this was a new thing. They didn't know this until, you know, the last 10, 15 years or so. But we didn't know around all these other stars, like our sun, various different sizes, brightnesses, etc. But, you know, big fusion reactions, that they have got their other planets around them now. Seems a bit logical. But they're now being able to check the atmospheres of some of those other planets, and there are a few, in fact there are quite a few apparently, that are giving what they call the biosignatures there, the gases that, as far as we know, only life can make. It is, I think, the astrobiological community, I hear it is commonly held belief that life is absolutely abundant, but our technology, although it can get these early detections, it can't conclusively say, you know. But hopefully a few new telescopes coming online soon will confirm that one for us. Yeah, it's a very, very good question there, Mucky. And adds as well, silent red glowing orb there, no flares, and outflew the F-15 aircraft. I'm going with the plasmoids for that. For me, that's bang on there. They're under the sea, Harco. A big part of the phenomena is the USO stuff. And if you are traveling this wide, varied universe, what is a consistent environment? Think of all the different pressures, the radiation levels, temperatures out there in the galaxies, far, far what we can bend our head around here. Acidities, all of them there. Liquid water, if you can find it, is a constant. So that might be the perfect little place for them to hide if they can find it. So no wonder they'll be quite active in the sea, I reckon. Where did we get to? And Emilio said, you are given the opportunity to travel back in time once. Who would you bring back or warn? Oh, that's a lot of responsibility. So I know for my own selfish reasons, I want to go back. I want to see the pyramids being built. I don't know if I would regret that or if it would be something more than that I'd want to see. I don't know. Maybe Mars a billion years ago when it had its atmosphere. Maybe that would be more interesting. But who would I bring back? I don't know. And a warning as well, there's definitely things, probably myself, for a lot of the stupid shit that I've done actually, but other than that, I think it's very difficult. You know, you start to knock those dominoes down, you don't know what consequences could happen. You know, might you go and kill baby Hitler, you know, oh, it sounds like a good idea, but maybe something worse happens that we couldn't get our head around before. Oh, the Apaches are yeah, we've definitely get a few Apaches around here. And lilac, elk is a large deer in the US there, similar to the UK. Oh, it's similar to the red deer, okay. And what we call elk is called a moose in the US. It's confused. So that's what I was thinking, yeah. I was thinking more big old moosey sort of things. Nathan as well, how are you doing tonight? And why are some nights I see nothing? And then in an hour, the sky is full of satellites in the night sky. It's clear. It's maybe the equipment. So, Aid, I have scratched my brain around for the last year because there are some nights where it's crystal clear. And I've got the settings perfect, and they worked perfectly yesterday. It's all the same. And what I think is happening is basically it's due to there's a weird balance between the Earth's, the sun's position relative to the Earth and on all the the time of year, the season. There are better times where the sun doesn't fully go round, and these objects are just of more of an opportunity to shine, to reflect that light back down for us so we can see it. So imagine that the sun, even though it's night, is shining a torch on all of those objects in our atmosphere, or in our orbit there, and we're able to see those reflections. But in the winter, the sun goes a lot further around, the angles are slightly different, and yeah, but I know time of days and stuff, but there's definitely a seasonal component to it. Hello, darling.
Hi, apparently the ISS is going to be going over right now.
It is, but it's going really low, yeah, sadly. Yeah, we'll be able to do it. I'm sure it'll come back around pretty soon anyway.
Some new people in the TikTok.
TikTokers. Well, I'll be over you shortly. I'm just getting to the end of the YouTube chat, so bear with us, and then I'll bounce back over to you guys, and then finish that, and I'll be back on the tubes, and vice versa. So do say hello, guys. Thank you, darling. Do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from tonight there. Ask away any questions, and I eventually will get round to it there. But if you are just joining us, we are doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch. That's coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. Make sure you're following and subscribe, because we're on pretty much every night. Oh, you're not too far, Trevor, in Exeter. Well, then you'll have no excuse when we do our meetup. You can come and say hello to the live Skywatch with us. It won't be anytime soon, though. I haven't even got around to properly planning that one. And Nathan, I saw an amazing sight last night there. It was a massive arrowhead, brighter than any light I have seen up there, and travelling so fast, and it was hard to grasp the speed there. Blessed, unfortunately, my camera is pointing in the opposite direction. So you saw that with your eyes. That wasn't on your camera. You actually saw that with your eye. That is phenomenal. How big did it appear to you? Like, say, compared to the ISS, Nathan, how big did that look? That is awesome. As well, the ISS orbits every 90 minutes there. Maybe satellites similar orbit times. I reckon so. So you'll see it. There will be the gaps, and then they go through. There are certain busier patches of sky. But yeah, it's in winter. Like, we can go through like a whole day of like not seeing any. Or days in a row, you won't see anything there. They're still up there. They're just not getting that light to reflect back there. And Tank is in. How is fish in England there? It's still a bit too warm. It's cooling down, Tank, but it is still a bit too warm. How are you doing? And it's a very clear night. We are lucky. We are very, very lucky tonight. So we've got to make the most of it, guys, there. Caught you earlier than I usually do. Super pancake, eh? Make the most, yeah. That extra time. See what we can spot tonight. How are you? And Scooby there, Sam. Are the moving diamonds there showing meteors and fireballs? So, you know what? I don't fully know. There is a chance that the tracker is able to pick up on things that we might otherwise miss. There's been quite a few things that it has tracked that I've got. I would not have seen it before. But it is also a possibility, especially there's some like down here. This one keeps doing it between these two stars. And I think what's happening is there's a lot of atmospheric sort of in the atmosphere. See that wobble? See how it's all dancing? I think it's confusing that for movement, for that and like initial identification. But it doesn't, I mean, there's a few that it will do. Over there, it keeps doing that one, see, there. So I think that one's an error, like there. But it doesn't mean that they're all going to be, especially if it's, I mean, obviously the ones it does for longer, they're fine. But yeah, if they're like a one-off, then that could be an indicator there. Could be a good point, Scooby. And see, the sky is great moonshots there. It doesn't interfere with the tracking channel either. Excellent as well. And the prime directive, yeah, maybe they don't. Maybe it's the minimal. I often think, because people say, well, look at all the horrors here on Earth. Why don't they intervene? And I think maybe if they intervened, they would be robbing us of the lesson. I think they know that. If they sorted our problems out for us, then the problems aren't sorted. Mummy and Daddy have just come in. Then what happens if Mummy and Daddy we don't learn the skills ourselves? So I think we're going to have to learn a very painful and expensive lesson. But maybe they're here just to make sure we don't do anything that we can't come back from. And so we equate it to, they might let us fall off of the bike and scrape our knees so we learn, but not let us ride out in front of traffic. 108 into house. Well done, guys, there. And if you could all hit the like buttons where it helps the algorithm, it really does. Thank you, Nathan, for that one. I do appreciate that. Yeah, the likes, guys, especially that like at the top there on the tubes, all the likes, shares, all that stuff really does help us meet more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And again, the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience they are going to share. That is my favourite bit, hearing from all of you guys. Your eyes on the ground there. Points mean prizes, exactly. And adds as well, some of the latest alien reports are saying contacted ETs are not from space. They're actually on Earth and have been for a long time. What do you think? People think. I think it's interesting. I came into this thinking, very old school, Roswell, Area 51, nuts and bolts, little green men, metal spacecraft from other planets. But that could be only a fraction of what might be going on. And to be honest, I still think it's pretty cool. Oh, good use of the grid there. That one did not get tracked, and it's a bright one. Oh, it's trying to.
Zoom mode activated.
Zoom in. Thank you guys for using the interactive grid. If you do spot something there, the mods might highlight the grid, drawing my attention to it. That's quite a slow one. It is slow and big. Very interesting. Keep your eyes on it as I zoom back out. But yeah, the idea that maybe it's a different civilization or even a different species that evolved here on Earth that's kind of just been keeping out of the way. There's been plenty of time for that. Dimensional component to this. I'm a big fan of that being part of it. In fact, that makes a lot of sense to some degrees there. All the time, very open to all of those. Maybe a sprinkling of all. Where I would put my money if I had a gun to my head at the minute, and again, this is with such limited data, but if I'm trying to assemble a picture from what we do have that I think makes sense, is I would say the biggest parts are probably going to be the plasmoids, the plasma life forms that's been with us here on Earth the whole time. Going to be a big part of that, and maybe the greys and that part of this thing that people report in the classic UFOs craft. It's probably going to be a lot of that. It's going to be us, you know, maybe from the future. I think that makes the most sense at the moment for it. But not to say the other stuff wouldn't happen to some degree, but maybe that's the bulk of it. Rachel is in. How are you doing tonight? Any waffles? And Liberty, wait, we can't send one ship to Cyprus. Don't think we could send any starships to the moon, let alone other worlds. Well, that is the other part of it, yeah. Have you seen the British Interplanetary Society, though? It's a bit of a shame, isn't it, Liberty? If we did get our shit together, we would have been the coolest fuckers in space. Guys, check it out. The British Interplanetary Society is designed for a moon. Hell is she doing? The design for a moon space shoot. They actually built based on the drawings. It is absolutely badass there, and super. It is beautiful, clear skies. It is. I'm going to make the most of these. And no cowtails, please. They're sure to be utterly ridiculous. Boom, boom, Grandmaster. Very good, very good. We got scared, didn't we? On our last live on location Skywatch. So occasionally we take the show on the road, guys, to the local hill forts where there has been a long history of the phenomena. A lot of you guys in the chat actually tonight have had those experiences up there as well. So we take this mobile rig with us and we do a live Skywatch on location from those. And there's normally something that scares me. We have had some strange alien-y UFO encounters. What the? What are you doing? What are you doing? What is that? That is so loud. I should got a jackhammer going. It's an electric toothbrush. Oh, yeah, it's yeah. We've seen some strange things out there, but I always get scared. I always get Scooby-Doo, and it's last time we were up on one of the hill forts that surround the town. It was about midnight, and we're looking up at the sky. But where we have the laptop going, and then you guys can see the beautiful night sky, but our night vision's mostly done in because of the bright screen, so you can't see much around you. But it's flat, so there's no trees up there. Beautiful views though, and all of a sudden I heard a rustling. Then I looked, and there was just like 15 to 30 of these just white faces just running really, really fast towards us. And like you see us both, it's the last few seconds of the stream because we had to end it because of that, and you just see us go, huh? And we're trying to process what is this, and it's going through our mind. Is it the local yobs that they're going to mug us? What is it? And my brain went, no, too small for that, because they were down quite low and there's a lot of them, and then this shape was like a face, small face with a point. So my brain rattled through everything I could think of and settled on gnomes. And I thought, that's it, we're getting done over by gnomes for a split second. Turned out to be a herd of cows that was really, really, really interested in us. So that's why we had to pack the kit away. I had a nightmare during a nap today there, being sucked into a black hole. My God, that is pretty horrendous one there, Rachel. Nights and nightmares go. And who knows what do they have stored there. So they never tell us. So that is a very good point for it there. And Super Pancake, I'm near military bases too there, and often fly low enough to see the pilots. You can see their truncheon. That's a bottom reference there. But yeah, they are low. We had one last night that came over the camera, and they've never come directly over before. Sometimes in the distance, if we've got real lower down. We're pointing almost directly up tonight. And it came over, and it was this big, bright, thin line, and it was amazing looking. And when we brought up the flight radar to check, as we can do now, just to see what's going on. Oh, it's having a sulk. We can see if there's anything local in the area. I couldn't see anything, but all that there is down there in the south west. But basically, it was literally bang on the centre dot, so I couldn't see it. So I was like, what the hell was that? And there's nothing on the radar. But yeah, very active for that sort of stuff. And oh my god, no, I did that one there. Plasmoids there could be real, and has gained traction in Congress. And look up the long dead now lights. These appear more intelligent to me rather than natural air phenomena. Yeah, I totally agree, Paul. And there are lots of people. It was the UK's. No, the UK report was the Condine report, wasn't it? It was the Condon report that was the other one we were looking at. So the Condine report was a UK government report looking into the UFO stuff, declassified. Since 1999, 2000 it was done, and that was the conclusion of the report. Was it looks like a lot of the phenomena is this plasma, which looks to us like it is a sentient life form. It's displaying those behaviours that we would consider it is sentient and intelligent, interacting with its environment, potential reproduction, responding to stimuli. And there are certain places, it has Darwin as well. That's another place that has these lights, Martha in Texas, and there are scientists out there doing the work. So I think that's going to be the one, the earliest one for us to push over the line to get that public. But that's going to be interesting because there are obviously non-human intelligences on Earth with us now. Dolphins, that's one, but they're still traditional life, aren't they? But they're biological life. But a plasma as a life form, that blows everything that we have understood there. And they do seem to have lost their way. And where are we? Bring back Einstein. Oh, we could do, yeah. However, Hitler was not German. He was an Austrian immigrant, to be fair. He was a fantastic painter. And we get nighttime exercises going over quite often there. The Lynx helicopters and the American C-17 transport a lot of action for a decommissioned base there. Makes you wonder. Well, they like to use those for training a lot. I used to actually rent what was a... so in one of my previous lives, I used to own what called airsoft sites. So it's like paintball, but you'd basically go, right lads, you can come and play, shoot each other on this location, give me some money and you can run around shooting each other there all day. And one of the locations that I used to have was an old missile base, ground to air, air defense missile base from the Cold War. It was privately owned and we rented it, and it's right on the Suffolk coast, right near Rendlesham Forest. That's why I used to go to that area quite a lot, because we used to rent this beautiful patch, absolutely stunning, and just let people run around shooting each other. But one day when we first started doing the events at that site, so we got all of our players running around in their camo, shooting each other like that. And then we got a couple of, I don't know if it was a Gazelle, but it was a smaller helicopter, and 2 Lynxes flew over from probably what was Woodbridge, because that's still an active base. And it turns out that they just used the site for training, even though it wasn't MOD property anymore, but nobody cared because it's almost abandoned. And then they flew over to do some training, and we were there running around with guns. We had to go, no, go away. It's not your site. So they do like to use the abandoned ones there. And apparently he did, but I do love a good conspiracy around that one. And might see a shooting star or 2 tonight if the sky is clear. Hopefully. We are meant to be getting into the season. We saw a few the other day, but haven't for a while there. And K-Dib's there as well from Dorset. Good to have you. Not far at all from us there. Have you ever seen anything strange in the Dorset skies? I'd love to hear about that, especially the local ones. Where do we get to in the chat? It's just jumping ahead on me. Sorry, guys. To the plasmoid. Oh, sorry, Miss Rachel's one here. They always have visited nuclear sites, etc., especially with the tensions there. And did you say Hitler is there, Sam? Hitler, no, we were talking about Hitler's speech, I think, there. I don't know about the Americans. She thinks that they are a lot worse than Germany. I think there's an interesting point to be taken away from that, which is, we're going to get a bit deep here, but it's easy for us, especially looking back into the past and all the horrors that are there, to go, well, those people are different from us, and we don't have to worry because we would never do those sorts of things because they're just so different. When really the battle is within each and every one of us there, and that is how it sneaks in and populates. So I think everybody's capable of horrendous things there, but we have to be careful with ourselves as individuals. Where did we get to now? To that one, dehydrate. Thank you, Paul. I do need that reminder. And it's still a bit warm for us here. And Nathan, it was about 2 times the size of a 747 passing over there. So quite close. That is massive. Triangular as well, or arrows, you said. Yeah, what way was that going? God, I wish I'd seen that. That would have been bloody phenomenal. Ain't got to worry about the Hitler. He's been in the grave for about 80 years. Or living his best life in Argentina. Depends who you listen to. I don't think he did go to Argentina there. But I do like a good story. Where are we there? Hitler survived. He would be dead by now. Oh yeah, but there are some really interesting theories around that one. I don't think any of them are that good. I think there's a lot of evidence that he did at the time. Although the bones, the skull fragments, didn't turn out to be him at all. Yeah, I don't think he made it out of Germany there. Sleep paralysis a couple of times is scary. Oh, grand, it is, isn't it? I've never had the demon in it, but I used to get that a lot when I was a teenager. I've got a few wannabes about. Sleep paralysis is what kept us from being eaten by animals back in the day. There, it's a good. Is it really? Is that where they think it's an evolutionary thing from? SK, how are you doing? Good to see you there. Back up of a tiger sniffing you. He's gonna eat you. Whether if you move or not. And Paul as well there. How come when the grey aliens conduct experiments on people, they use primitive instruments and these encounters stink of torture chambers? Well, you can definitely be perceived that way. I've heard both. I have heard some pretty horrendous stories which do definitely see that. But I've also heard of people talking about very advanced tools, like, you know, and the main problem was just how scared they were, rather than, you know, necessarily pain. But they definitely get the other kind with it as well. So that is an interesting angle there, Paul, because that does, I suppose, fit in more of a traditional demonic sort of sense. And no waffles tonight there. Trying some old school cake. Oh, nice bit of cake. Used to say low enough to see their boot size. That's a more polite way of saying it. And often have some that don't track, and once sound like a rolling thunder for 2 minutes and couldn't find anything. Super, that is interesting. What was I watching earlier? And the sound are one of the most overlooked parts of the phenomena, because a lot of the time the sightings themselves are silent. That is one of the indicators. But when there is sound involved, normally it is so horrendous and it is so haunting. And that was one of the things that kicked off the events here, at the events that they had here in the 60s and 70s. Yes, a weird. No, did that one. Where do we get to? And can you imagine how people would have reacted if they had heard about sentient plasmoids back when Bob Lazar released at the cinema there? Can imagine the crazy responses. Yeah, anything that is so far from our current understanding. People will always, the general public, I think you guys are mostly safe. If you're in this stream, you're probably not going to come under this category, because you're at least able to hold interesting thoughts and possibilities there. But most other people, they hold on to the information quite rigidly and quite dogmatically. Right, the authority has said this, whether it is my teacher, my parent, or whoever, a sports personality, whatever it is, they say this, therefore this be true and nothing else. And anything outside of that is quite distressing. And that's, I think, exactly why they're kind of releasing these things not in the big dramatic way that we want, but in this subtle way to kind of seed it, to soften people into it, to warm them up to it. And the silent red orb I mentioned was definitely toying with the military aircraft, chasing it, and it showed intelligence. Bang on, because a lot of the time when you see the videos of what could be them, there's an organic quality, I feel, to it. Like, you watch them moving around, it's a dance. I think it reminds me more of like lion cubs play fighting than it does of a drone and its mechanistic controlled movements and angles and stuff like that. So it's why really my gut tells me organic there. Cold War. Oh yeah, the Cold War. That was my other geeky interest before doing this. How are we doing, Araf? Good to see you in. How's your day been? And if consciousness is... Oh, where did that one go? If consciousness is a quantum, then so can plasma be conscious. Exactly. We do not have a good understanding. You know, we think, oh, it's our neuronal tissue and it's this and it's that causes life and it does this. But these are our rolls of the dice. They're our guesses for this sort of stuff. Really, we don't actually know. And the more we're looking, the more, you know, science is leaning towards consciousness, being transmitted and received by the brain rather than created in it. I think old Penrose talks about that one a lot. So then why not for plasma? If all of the meat suit gubbins isn't necessarily required. And Gandalf, oh, night, Gandalf, will catch you later there. Military base I refer to is RMB. Oh, shift. Oh, I don't know that one. Doesn't actually ring a bell. I'll have to Google it there. And hello from over here. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you there. Well, I'm not a fan. I can stick around there. The headphones are needing a charge. For God's sake, I hope everyone enjoyed. Oh, thank you, Rachel. I hope you're doing all right, though, and you sleep better tonight. And the Drakelow Tunnels, anyone been there? I haven't been to that one, but it has been on my list previously. And apparently one of Hitler's balls was shipped to Argentina. Some sort of consolation prize there. Yeah, exactly. A long time ago now, but saw something moving rapidly across the sky with one bright white flashing light. Seemed to cover the sky very quickly. No engine noise and very into aircraft. So not what... Well, if you're into aircraft, well, that actually is really good because you're going to have probably a better understanding of all the variations of how aircraft are going to present in the night sky. A better feeling than us. So how large do you think this sighting was? Because it's trying to gauge the altitude. There are certain things that can flash, or the satellites in orbit as they're flying around, they can appear to blink and flash and do all that sort of stuff for us, you know, down on the ground. But if you're seeing your eye, I don't think I've seen a flasher maybe with my eye, I don't know, but if it's a bit lower down than that, if you think it's a bit closer, then that is incredibly anomalous there, K-Dibs. Incredibly anomalous. Thank you for sharing. It was going the opposite direction from a camera. It always is, isn't it, Nathan? And Minimo as well, how are you doing there? Does anyone know about the Grey Room? Is that the one at Wright Patterson, where they were reportedly doing the research on is it on the bodies, or is that the Blue Room? I'm not sure. Sleep paralysis is interesting to me, especially using it to initiate lucid dreams or working with stuff. Oh, jumping ahead. Working with stuff like the gateway tapes. Oh, interesting. I had a weird experience with that. In fact, when I stopped having them after I broke the reality of it, if that makes sense. I'll tell the story one day for that one. Scary story from Living Light. A friend told a story there from an Orient trip about seeing a man riding a donkey and watching him ride away. And in the distance, the man's feet transformed into hooves and just moved along with the donkey. That is... Ooh. Due to Trump being the way he is there, our ex-ally had burned the bridges for me a long time ago. Well, I think, you know, we have to kind of be as paused as we can with these things, because otherwise it just adds to it all. But I understand the sentiment, because I only ask because there have been many times. You know, it's a good sighting. Yeah. What about? Because you've been there many times. Wait a minute. No, so I was thinking of something else there. So is this like what, in a dream state, or in one of the possibly not a dream state sort of thing? You know, tell us more on that one. You know. If the government ever says something that must be true, there doesn't usually spring to mind. Yeah, if they say it must be true, then I'm always skeptical. And Yev is in there. The general public is nowhere near being sentient, let alone plasmoid. I would actually agree. We like to think of ourselves as conscious beings in control and making all of the choices for us, but our brains, as I said, aren't designed to save calories where they can. They don't want to be doing extra processing if they don't have to. If they can run on autopilot, they will. That's again where your emotions come in, you know. And the best place to start to look to yourself to see how much you're doing it yourself, because if you think you don't do it, then you definitely do it. Is look to your hunger. Right, and then start trying to compare your other emotions to the strength of your hunger, and you can work across those things. And when I started doing it, I went, bloody hell, do I make any decisions myself? Do I make the decisions at work, and, you know, with the good and the bad? You know, do I get into that argument? Do I push for the promotion? Do I, whatever it is any of that me? Because I was patting myself on the back for all that. No, it wasn't. It's all about, you know, where my hormone levels were during the day. You know, it's all of that. We're not as conscious. We don't make the active decisions that we think we do. It's really surprising for that. And oh no worries there, Rachel. And yeah, just popping in for a bit there before my beauty sleep. There, you might have to have a few, Raf. Have an extra 10 minutes on me. Seen 3 UFOs in 20 years apart there, both over sensitive areas. Oh, what sort of sensitive areas there? Because, again, they have such a higher proportion of sightings over those spaces. Now, there will be observation bias, won't there? Because sensitive sites are going to have more cameras, more guards, more eyes on them, just because of very nature. So you're always going to get more sightings like that. But even considering that, it does seem to be disproportionately active for sightings, those sorts of spaces. Guys, I'm just finishing up over on the tubes, then I'll be bouncing back over to the TikTok chat, because I'm quite far behind. In fact, I'm very, very far behind. I've missed a 10-ton of gifts, so let me just run through. Oh my god, so many. Sorry, guys. We've got Leanne coming in there, Laura Lass, R4, Dordor, Kate, DJ Level there, Pumpkin Sue as well there, and Adam, thank you guys for those, and then Feeding
guys.
Allens there. I will be back to the TikTok chat momentarily. Just going to quickly finish up over here on the tubes. We've got to take it in turns tonight, guys. But if you are just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP at Skywatch tonight, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. Do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, ask away any questions. Might take me a minute to get to you, but I do want to hear from you all. There's no silly questions, so maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it. But if you've had an experience, just like Minnow is telling us now, do share it. We'd love to hear it there. Looking at laptops there, but I can't find the one you want. Raf, if the MacBook Neo, I'm hearing very, very, very good things about it at the minute. So if that's an in-range one for you, when I switched to Mac, I didn't want to go back. And in fact, when we did have to do the streaming, I had to get Windows computer, I regretted it. And Super my Pancake, my spookiest thing was seeing red dots seeming to play around sharp angles. Then it got back to watch UFO documentary to find there was a similar thing. And only several of them skin crawled. Yeah, didn't realise it at the time, but then you get that realisation. You go, oh my god, I was actually that close. Yeah, that is, I can imagine that one. How long was it? What was the around seeing those then? Like, was it just you're walking somewhere and you caught it in the distance, or much the same, a bit of digital stargazing? Exactly. And what it could tell you to make your hair curl. I met a fortune teller, and I never met him before. Oh, I like the sound of these. And he gave me a reading, which I really don't believe in. And he asked me, have we ever met before? And I told him I don't think so. And he said we had met before in the grey room. And so in the grey room you had experiences in. That would make my skin crawl, actually. There, he had a very specific dream like that, and ooh. I mean, that's starting to tie in with the old abduction stuff, isn't it? Where did we get to? Isn't anything you heard about Draylow tunnels just as scary? I've heard general spooky stories, but I haven't heard much to the detail, other than it's haunted and they do ghost tours. I hate whatever I want there. Subconscious. Interesting witness as well. And Amanda, can you see Andromeda tonight there? Sorry, but no, don't worry. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can spot Andromeda. We haven't been able to see it for a few days. I think I'm at the wrong angle. Let's turn the tracker off and let's spin the camera around. Hold your hats. See if we can spot an Andromeda. Not in this part, so that's a bit further around, isn't it? It's normally as it gets lighter here over town. Somewhere around here, I think. Spin it a bit more, maybe over here. Andromeda, where are you? I think... Is that it? No. It's more smudged than that. Where are you? You bastard star. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Zoom mode activated.
There we go. Oh, so my cursor won't get next to it. Doesn't like it down there. But in C4... No, right in the corner. There. That little join there between B and C, is that 3 and 4 there, that little cross, that faded, that smudged one there, that is Andromeda. So all of these other dots here, these are stars, like our sun, various ranges of brightnesses, temperatures, and all that sort of jazz, but, you know, stars like our sun. That one is a whole other galaxy with billions of stars, and then their planets, etc. as well. It's always cool to see that one, especially that it's just a camera as well that we can pick that up with. Right, let's spin ourselves back around. I wouldn't eat octopus there. I'd feel like I was eating an alien there. Just have insane character. Oh, octopus, they are, and they're so smart as well. I mean, I don't do seafood or anything like that anyway, but if I did, I still wouldn't eat the octopus there. One of those cases, isn't it? They do think, oh, is this one of the old aliens that could have been transferred here by panspermia? I'm sure they would have taken you. I'm starting to feel like that sort of account there. And Peter, there, a real astrophotographer there from Patreon. Are you being fooled by guys? What are you on about there? What are you on about, Peter? Where are we as well? Me and a couple of friends at the harbour are watching the sky there. I will never forget it. And you saw that one looking out over the water. Again, going to the USO sort of things here. As well, witness exactly. Who came at you? It would for me. It would for me in a situation like that. Going again, there you go, Leroy. Where are we? Down here. The room had a mirror, windows, and a weird gravity there. I felt like I was being studied. It's very similar to what a lot of people talk about, isn't it? There with their little abduction, their abduction experiences, very much in line with that. There, they tear it with you exactly. Anyway, right, let's bounce back over. We've caught up with the tubes, so let's bounce back over to the TikTok. That's been very active, and I'm very far behind, so I'll catch up with you guys. Where did we get to? Sorry, you've been patiently awaiting. Joe as well, they're coming in with the shares. Thank you for that. It is the likes, the shares, all that stuff that tapping away helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. The more eyes and minds we get on the Alpha Phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. And Peter as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? If you're new here, click the like, share. Thank you, Carl. And A4, very faint, good spotting. I'm so far behind that. And Nope as well, thank you for the follow. Hey, where's Carlos? Hello, Carlos, if you're in. I just saw Kate saying hello. And Free Ride as well, thank you for the shares. Do appreciate that, guys. Help us build up a little community. Oh, B2, let's have a look on that one. What have we got in this? Oh, yeah, there we go. That was... Oh, I haven't turned the tracker on. That might be why. Turn the tracker on. Oh, let it have a sulk. There we go. It's picking it up now. Thank you for the highlight there. We've got a few on screen. Where are we down here? Is the star mapping working, anybody? No, it's not at the minute. It should be, in principle, easy enough, but it keeps getting them wrong. There. Oh, Leanne sent a portal. Thank you for that, Leanne. And thank you. Hello to anybody new here. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So do help us spot the strange anomalous and say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from. Sent 200 comments there, Lever. Well done. And is this a proper UFO site there? Is that Fly? So this is just our camera in the night sky. So it's a live view of him from the skies here in Wiltshire. So yeah, it's a proper in that sense. Where are you joining us from there? My son just got a job on a farm working with cows. They're awesome. Awesome. I like that. Because when he comes back going, Mum, those cows are weird. Those cows, you know, there's something about them cows. And Divine as well. Did you ever catch the satellites that Elon Musk sent out last year there? It was beautiful to see. So we've caught them previously. Yeah, I think last year we did catch a couple because they, you know, when they start to separate release, they go in like a line, basically, and then that line, they get further and further apart. But it looks like a very tight line that each orbit gets further. And we've caught it a few times going past. It's always awesome to catch. I didn't get to see the spiral one effect that was reported, though. I did want to see that one. Harco tap exactly. My ex-wife was one of them there. I've heard that. Not about your ex-wife. I have to ask him if they remind him of gnomes there. It was that pattern on their face. It was the white pattern. That's all you could see in the dark was just a very faint white. And gnomes. Where are we? Down here. And Kissa as well. Have you heard the Billy Corgan interviews about the shit? I have. And I don't know what to make about it. Normally an account like that, I would always have like a very low conviction. You know, like I don't know this person, may have happened, may not, but I'm just not going to be able to tell unless I got to know them, which isn't going to happen. So I always have to put those in the camp of interesting, but I can't say a lot about them. But Billy Corgan, I don't know why, because I don't know the chap personally, but you know, I listen to his music a lot. And I don't know why, but I just wouldn't have expected him to like that's such a thing to come out of the woodwork with. He does it, you know. So very interesting. Who did they think he was talking about? I know he didn't say the name, but people, was it? There was a name that they floated around who it probably could have been. This shapeshifter. Very interesting. Who else caught that one? And I believe in this and the rubbish we are fed about the balloons there. Be crazy to think we're like exactly. I think it's logical that you know, why would the universe be any different to our experience here on Earth. Why wouldn't life be absolutely bloody abundant? Why do we always assume that we are special? Science is coming around, just very, very slowly. And Aliens Vibe, hopefully you're still here. Good to see you in. Where are you joining us from then? Thank you for the share. The ISS is due over the next 5 minutes. Big Bear, good spotting. It's a bit low on the horizon for us tonight, sadly. And R4, good to see you there. And UFO X-Files, how are you doing? Just getting your messages now. And that. Dawdle is in, good to see you there. And Finn, you only need 6 elements for life, and to think that we are the only planet to have that is mad. Bang on, bang on. The more we're understanding, like the less requirements there are around it. That habitable zone is getting wider. The idea of a habitable zone, anyway, actually having any relevance to all of this is probably quite weak. But then we bring in, you know, the plasmoids. If that is a real thing, if there is sentient life in plasma form, that throws out all of our understandings, all of our requirements for habitable areas and things like that. And I'd go back to the Roswell crash site and bring back the alien body. Oh, Carl, that's a good place. Yeah, to be there that night, but maybe slightly to the left so you didn't get hit. That would have to be a good location, wouldn't it, to travel back? And what's your thoughts on the space elevator there? Could it work? And would it work? Oh, well, I think principle, like the physics, it could work. It would just be, can we build it? You know, like, can we? I think it's possible. It would take it'd be a big old investment, wouldn't it? But the idea basically of building a space elevator, because essentially what you're doing is you're going to have like something like the International Space Station up there, but you attach a rope to it, and then since you've got that rope there, you run a lift up and down that, an elevator up and down the rope, and it's essentially it takes less energy to do that than it does to use rockets to kind of break through the atmosphere. So it would, you know, it would help us get our stuff up there cheaper. I don't know about the viability. It's never struck me as a full-time solution to it, but you know, for tourism it could be very good. I'd definitely do it. Then saying that, I'd probably get dizzy. Even thinking about it's giving me vertigo. And the site is too busy there. Lots of chat, no answer on stuff. Well, it takes us a while, Flynn. It takes us a while. And Drac there, do some meteor showers between now and August. Apparently so. This time last year, towards the end of July and August, were our best, not just for strange anomalous sightings, but for the meteors and everything, for nature putting on that show there. And the P-52s, I did. So it was I literally caught one video. I know it's going around on TikTok. So it was like, you know, sort of future humans. Is it 52,000 years in advance of us? And there's another one, like a P-60 or a P-40, P-45. If you're in the UK, you'll know what that is. Yeah, it's different sort of humans at different stages. And look, I think the future human hypothesis and the angle to all of this could well be a very important component to it all. Where are we getting to? Sorry, guys. It keeps jumping ahead, so I'm trying to find out where we are. About here there. Colin, thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? Adam is in now. Just got to see you there, man. And coming in with the shares too, guys. Appreciate that. The shares, the likes, the tapping away, all that jazz does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds on the phenomena helps us all improve our understanding of what might be going on there. And poor man there, why are they only giving tech to the Five Eyes? Well, that is one of the questions, isn't it? If it was like a direct relationship, why would they just give it to one party here on Earth? There's a couple of arguments which might be they're playing us off against each other, hoping that we'll wipe each other out, you know, or maybe they're not giving it. Maybe it is, you know, more crash related. I know they talk about this donation theory, but maybe we're getting the wrong end of the stick. You know, maybe we're assuming it's for us and we're taking somebody's ride. And Spider there are a lot more going on than most I don't know there. The Black Projects treat is done with the beings. I find it quite interesting. I do. I mean, a lot of people say, well, if they're so much more advanced than us, you know, why would they need to? But honestly, you've got to be very, very, very advanced to kind of get away with supply chain issues, you know, over these vast distances, you know, distance in time as well as space. And a Five-Eye country that doesn't see it also. Well, yeah, everybody sees it. It seems to be universal, doesn't it, across the world. This as well. God, trying to read the chat. It's not getting smaller, but my eyes are getting more and more tired there. Is the star mapping worked? What stars are what? If it works, well, that one is Vega, and then I think we've got Deneb is this one maybe? Or is it that one? One of those. That's about all I know. That's the main reason why we need the star mapping to work on those. How you doing, X-Files? There we go. And Angela, I believe as well. And believe, I think, is the correct word for it. Because, you know, we're very quick to throw out belief and faith as tools for us humans to navigate the world. You know, especially when we attach it to certain religions and things like that. And it seems very antiquated and all of that sort of stuff. But I believe is a very useful tool. You know, to the evidence that I have seen, tells me that there could be a lot more going on than we are led to believe. I don't know that for a fact, but I've seen some strange things. But I'm also ignorant. I'm limited by my experiences. So believe for me is the correct one around that one. So Angela, 100% on the same with that one. Oh, Kate, I want to believe. Can't you believe? You believe in Alan? M to the C, how are we doing tonight? And Luca as well, good to have you in. Do say hello. It's very clear out of tonight. We have been very, very lucky, but we get a little bit of atmospheric interference, which is why we're getting a few of these false positives. I mean, I can't have the tracker as sensitive, so it's missing some of the faint ones, but it's also trying to track some of the wiggling stars there. Oh, Kate, your one, you got a Neo. 100, well done. And you got it at the right time, because they've had to put the bloody prices up, haven't they? Welcome to the dark side, Kate. You'll never, if you've had a MacBook before, I'm assuming you haven't, but if you have, you'll never go back. They are absolutely awesome as well. And you know, the only downside to the tracker is it's not so easy to spot the stationary flashing. Oh, good question. Good point there, not question. Yeah. Would we notice it as much? Are we going to get lazy? Good point. Anto as well there, thank you for the follow, good to have you in. And TikTok, that's how they give to the Earth, to its football with space life, yeah. Can you imagine us having a match with ET? Got no choice but to believe in Alan there, he's a menace. Oh yeah, dodgy windows, and I've despised it forever. Oh, okay, it took me so long to make the switch. It took me so long, and when I did, I never looked back. It was, yeah, they're just so much better. All right, I'm going to switch back over now. We've caught up with the TikTok, so back over to the tubes. Where do we get to with you? A lovely lot. Where did we get to? Oh my god. Where did we get to? Got to around there. You'll turn into an alien, quite possibly. And yeah, don't get it. Look, as long as people are being civil, then they come in. They can share their thoughts around these things. As long as they're not forcing other people's comment or calling anybody stupid, then that's when I think we'll get rid of them. But yeah, no, it's like people are willing to share, you know, their different little their counterpoints and stuff like that. But it's when people come in that they come in with definites. That's for me is a big red flag. It's when somebody is coming in with a really, really strong definite, and that's both sides of the argument there. So. One for the bald win, exactly. We've been there. I'm over 50 and I still can't get my head around it. Honestly, yeah, honestly, like there's things like that. I'm not surprised though, because these aren't easy problems to solve. We don't have a lot of tools, do we, in our current culture to help explain what we're seeing. What else? What other experiences that can we draw from in our day-to-day life that helps us understand all of this? A lot of the time we're having to go back to other cultures to get those tools to explain it. And contemplating whether to have a fried egg or not. Was it you, Leroy, with all the bacon last night? The poached Leroy. Just to get to see if any aliens had been found there. And clearly not. Oh, Terry. See, this you're testing it here. The word fuck off comes to mind. And I rarely say that. But you're calling it a grift when we're quite openly having an exploration. We're not selling anything. It's not that. We're going to see what it is. That's the difference. It's not just because it's counter your point of view. It might be wrong, but just because it's counter your point of view doesn't mean it's a grift. Jesus Christ. There. Anyway, on to the next one as well. Where did we get to? Right. Oh, God, he's jumping ahead of me. Ugh. The cheesy beans on toast with a fried egg, very nice. And then, well, exactly, I'd second that one, Nathan. Poached egg is good there. If anyone has been through this, please contact me. So I want to know more about the grey room there a minute, because it's very, very rare. But if you're meeting other people that have that are having a similar experience. I'm going to keep an ear out from it. Make sure you hang around because, you know, if we come across it again, we want to hear more. That's a very rare... and you know what? We did have a chap. He hasn't been in a while. But he had a somewhat similar. It wasn't exactly the same, but there was some sort of similar one, a similar account to a certain degree. It was a red room, though. And there were some other differences. It wasn't just the colour. Exactly living light. And at the top of a Devil's Lake in Lincoln City, Oregon. Ooh, I mean, got the name for it as well. I've got 4 beers left, and then I make a decision. Yes. Exactly. Where are we? Get to the... straight as die. Oh, Minna, 100% there. Look, I'm interested. I want to hear more on it. I want to feed an alien mushrooms and beer. Oh, no, not good for mushrooms. Mushrooms might itself be alien in nature. There, you know, it's one of those interesting things, isn't it? That is so different, acts in strange ways. You know, fungus and mushrooms might control the weather. They can actually have a say in when it rains. They can release certain things into the atmosphere, and the wind blows it up and can cause higher chances of rain and stuff. They are very, very strange organisms there. Oh, the Billy Corgan shapeshifter there. First time hearing about it. Yeah, apparently he's come out in a couple of interviews with this, and it was he was quite coy about it. But yeah, he's come out a few times, and essentially it was a casual lover of his that he knows. It wasn't just a one-night thing, and they've been casual lovers a couple of times. But I think after the throes of passion, he caught a glimpse of them as he turned around, and they were like more, I think it's lizard shapeshifting side. And that for me is quite an out there one. But again, I actually rate him, and again, he's not one of these drugged up rock stars. It's very, very interesting. So definitely check that one out. Was it, I want to say Tia something was who people deduced it might have been. Obviously, the Dolphins are playing dumb. They are NHI in the crop. They are they are NHI. They're non-human intelligence. They do think though that you know, look, we look at all these water worlds as possible hosts for life. There, you know, if they've got that volcanic activity there, you know, the heat sources, then, you know, as far as we know, life could survive and thrive under the water there. But they think, again, with our limited understanding, that they wouldn't be able to basically have an industrial revolution. They may be incredibly intelligent, but they probably would be able to build tools because they don't have fire and things like that to then, you know, harness and make the tools. Space elevator hardly seems practical. It seems very vulnerable to me. You know, that's got to be one strong fucking tether, hasn't it? Like a flying car. Could it be done? Yes, but is it practical? No. I could go with that one. And Amanda, B2, good spotting, too far behind. Sorry. I saw them over AWE Aldermaston and Sandhurst Military School. Very okay. AWE, you know, which is the Atomic Weapons Research Establishment, wasn't it? So that. Yeah, that would fit in, wouldn't it, with their targets, you know, the things that they are interested in. What's that one? Not even heard of that one. Michelle? Is that Michelle? Like nice to have an open-minded person in there, isn't it? Where did we get to? Picture quality is amazing there. Too late. Aliens already landed 80 years ago there. They're working at McDonald's. Hey, you've got to put them to work. They've got to earn their keep there. And I would like to undergo a lie detector test just to approve it. Well, you don't have to here, Minnow. You don't have to here. Again, you know, this is a place to share these experiences. And again, not everybody has to take everything as is. You know, we can only offer up our experiences to other people. But I find it really, really interesting there. He's there. Where are we down there? And also a cylindrical craft that hover with no sound. Then they shoot off at speed, which cannot be comprehended. That is, the cylindrical craft are a lot. You don't hear about them now so much. They do happen, but they're much rarer. Back in the day, they were seen absolutely loads. Like this, often described as like a cigar type craft. Is that how you would describe those ones? But it is that speed as well. That going fast. It's not like saying, oh, well, you know, it could be secret military technology. Not unless there is a different version of physics. You know, like it's a total different direction to be able to behave like that. Where did it get to? Oh, jumping ahead there. Yeah, you were shame didn't catch a photo, but honestly, the times when I've been outside and I've seen something, I forget to take a photo. When the times I did catch a video, it looked crap. So you can draw a pic of the grey room there. I would like to share. Oh, if you want to do that, would 100% love to. And yeah, I don't blame you having trouble sleeping now. So we've got a Discord. If you're up for it, you join that. Got a link in bio. It's like a little community app with messaging sort of combined. We've got a personal experiences section there, so that's a great place to put your experience in now. I know the rest of our community that aren't on tonight would love to hear about that one there as well, so you can add your story there. But if you do want to draw a picture of it, I'd love that, because this is the thing, you know, you get to hear about these things you don't get to hear anywhere else, and then somebody else will come in at some point and they will say something kind of similar, and you can start to piece what might be going on. There you go, that's a nice slow steady one. Look at that. Zoom back out. Yeah, it's going to go off the screen in a second. Nice, big and steady. Oh, that was a faint shooting star there. That was a faint one. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, if that is your experience of sleep, I would be, you know, it's definitely be apprehensive doing it. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. And I played a lot of Elite on Amiga. It's basically the same, apart of smuggling flying ships, yeah. We owned it. Oh, you did. Yeah, you got to that. Thank you for that one. I really don't mind people being skeptical. I really don't. But it's when you get that emotional reaction from people and they go, oh my God, blah, 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 and you go, whoa, calm down. And it doesn't matter what it is, but I just don't like loud noises, and I can just hear it when they come in. I go, whoa, calm down. You know, it's the neurotic person that's panicking on the streets, you know, going, oh my God. You go, no, whoa, calm down. That's what I don't like. That kind of gets me going the wrong way. I'm here to sell my Soviet space junk. Exactly, RA. Alan's got a side gig on. He's the interstellar catalytic converter theft. So if you need any, tap Alan up. And want a 7-inch that can play Football Manager quickly. I says, you want a 17-inch? Oh, this is a separate conversation, Raph. I'm sure. Keep your preferences out of the chat there. You're going to those Bristol glory holes again. Watching the stars has never been so fun. Honestly, I do love the night sky. Look how colourful these ones are. Look at the reds, the oranges, the purples.
Zoom mode activated.
Oh, this is we zoom in, they fucking change. That's that atmospheric interaction. Oh my God, stop scrolling. Stop scrolling, you piece of crap. Exactly, Sparrow. Everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, opinions, and some of them are interesting. You know, like this is the thing. You know, it can always help us mould. You know, sometimes they say your best friend is your enemy because they're going to be quicker to point out the stupid things that you're doing, aren't they? So sometimes it is good to have somebody come in. And they go, "You do realise this is this," and you go, "Okay, great, we can take that on board." But when they're just, you know, they're coming in trying to force beliefs, that's no good for anyone. You know, they want to be the smart person in the room when they're not actually that smart. Fungi has been here longer than it really has. Apparently, there was a time, wasn't there, when I think the Earth was more oxygen-rich in the atmosphere, like higher oxygen content, where we would get mushrooms the size of trees, and also things would spontaneously combust because of that higher oxygen level. They just burst into flames randomly. Studying you might be because I have a weird blood type there. Other than that, I'm not sure. People have speculated, is it the Rh negative blood type? That could be a reason for their interest. Exactly, Chris, he jumped on RAF 17 inches. The largest organism on Earth are the mushroom, the mycelial networks, isn't it? Yes, the size of it, the way they're all connected. Oh, what's that here? I'm some old school. I only use text now, and our messaging thing. I'll have to figure out another way because I know Discord isn't for anybody. There's an email. Do you do email? We've got an email in our description. That could be a good way of doing it. And it's like Star Trek. It really is. And there are certain clues. Possibly there might be something similar going on the surface of Mars. There are some images where there are certain patterns and things that actually do look a little bit organic, and there's this massive black spot on Mars that seems to be growing. And it's not like, you know, the storm on Jupiter that's always there. No, it's a very dark patch of soil, and they've noticed it over the last 50 years grow like 60 kilometers or something. So that could be another kind of, maybe there's life in a very different version there. Heard a story of dolphins kidnapping a guy there. Maybe they've been talking of those missing. So, oh my God, we read that one. And the further we got with that, I thought, that's a bit strange. What was his name there? There was a foreman dolphin, wasn't there? Kate, do you remember this? What's the name of that dolphin? We were at a fire. Oh, you worked at AWE in the new build. Oh, leave it. Now that is bloody fascinating. That would be very, very, very fascinating to hear your experiences there, if you're allowed to talk about them. Your R8 positive says bet, part of the interest. And ex-military there. It's refreshing to find like-minded channel there, and so much rubbish out there. Thank you for X. Oh, thank you, Adele, for saying that as well. Sorry, Aid. Sorry, couldn't be of the ADE. Aid. Thank you for saying that, and you're not too far from us there. Have you experienced anything strange in your experience? We'd love to hear about that one. Again, not too far from us. It's a strange corner of the world, isn't it? Here, there is a little bit of activity going on. So I come from Essex, not much at all, but moving here immediately, there's something in the air. So I'd love to hear more about that, and thank you for that. Welcome aboard to our little corner of the internet. And the ones that go from air to under the sea and show no hesitation, that's not any exactly that transmedium nature there. The recent drop, I don't know if it's the last one or it's the third drop, that appeared to show multiple of those craft doing that around a submarine. That was really, really interesting there. And I'm reading Burks. What's your direct email, please? So, you're not too far either in that way. So the best way is thething@supermax, one word, .fm. It should be the link in the bio for that one. There, the CCCP. Is it the communist, the social? Oh, I can't remember what it stands for now. The Russians, basically. Nothing worse than when you go on a paranormal investigation and someone totally freaks out and spooks everyone. Calm down. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. It's a bit loud for me. Although I do get scared easy. It's the hysterical ones. Truth is truth there, and I'm sure I have been taken. Well, it could well a bit. Honestly, that is one of the most rarest parts. We get a lot of people in here sharing their sightings and experiences, but this sort of area in the middle is very, very rare. But it's incredibly fascinating, and we treat animals like that, don't we? We are constantly tagging and knocking them out and taking them away for various purposes. So why would another species or another intelligence not be interested in doing the same with us? There's a reason why I walk like John Wayne. Yeah, it's not because of that. There's another reason why you walk like John Wayne. The truth is merely a consensus of opinion, unless it's mathematical. But Nathan, 10 points Gryffindor. Yeah, we conflate truth for consensus the whole time. Yeah, you're bang on with that. And the second one as well. I think that was true. Oh, God bless there. We'll catch you later there, Witness. Always good to have you there. Got the good stuff. Where are we down there? The moon's a spaceship. The moon is weird. The moon is weird. I don't know if I'll go that far yet, but the moon is bloody strange there. Sam, this tracker is really... You love the tracker. You love the... Stop pretending to not like the tracker. It's better than it was. Soviet Socialist Republic there. Yeah, that's the one, RA. I knew it was something like that. It's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Right, I'm going to quickly bounce back over to that TikTok. Where did we get to, if you wonderful people? Waiting patiently. Let me scroll all the way up. No, I've done that one. Anto as well, thank you for the follow. No, I did that one. And I want to believe in the way that a lot of things make sense there, and I just want to see into that's it, Kat. I think I can totally agree with that there. I want proof, but yeah, I'm a nightmare like that, so I can totally, I want to see it. So I agree there. And X as well, coming in with the gifts. How are you doing, sir? And Kez there, what does this camera do to track UFOs through space? Yeah, so we're tracking objects outside of our atmosphere in orbit of Earth that appear to, well, that are reflecting light back down to us. Now, there's a lot of man-made satellites up there in the night sky, a hell of a lot of them, so most of them are going to be that. So we are using the tracker and we're looking out for ones that act a little bit stranger, ones that stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory, because that tells us for sure that they are doing something a little bit stranger than, you know, man-made objects, because the man-made satellites cannot do anything other than basically go in a straight line at a consistent speed. So as soon as you see something stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory, then we know for sure that it's something a little bit stranger. Coloration and flashing, that sort of stuff does you know, attract attention. It's not strictly speaking like 100%, but it can be very, very interesting. So it's along those lines. Where are you joining us from as well there? The green lines of the satellite, that's basically it, Kez. Yeah. So if it's green, it's not doing anything anomalous, and therefore, as far as we know, it's probably a man-made satellite. Again, it's statistically going to be a man-made satellite, but not definitely, because again, most of the time, ET flying around up there as well. Where's my little drop? You know, they're going to be going in a straight line as well as those man-made satellites. You know, there's not much to avoid up there, so the most efficient point between path between 2 points is a straight line, isn't it? So most of the time, ET is going to be flying in a straight line at a consistent speed too. We are asking for that rare occasion where ET is flying along, realises he's left the gas on, and has to do an interstellar handbrake turn and go back right over the camera. So that's not always going to be all of the time. But yeah, so we're asking for those rare ones, but it does happen. But yeah, look to when they go red, basically. That's when it needs to pay a little bit more interest to it. So bang on with that one. Virtually flew right over me twice there. What, a UFO? You've got to tell us that. I'll have a telescope there and I'll try to track it with it there. But it is, things up there move so fast, and the further you're zoomed in, the quicker you've got to react. It is so difficult. What sort of objects was it you were seeing there? Were they strange lights? And a regular lift is a borderline nope for me. So a space elevator can go do one. But Kate, Alan's already booked you on, you know, when it opens. All these newbies in. We've got a few in there tonight. And why is there lots of stars flashing? So the actual twinkling we're seeing is due to atmospheric interactions there. The light that is travelling from all these distant stars is so weak by the time it reaches us here on Earth that just the thicker bits of atmosphere can kind of get in the way and just prevent it that last minute there. But we're actually seeing a lot of, like, see those little target symbols like that when they're popping up briefly. Because of this atmospheric haze, if we zoom in tonight, see how the stars like are jumping around? That's that light being perturbed as it just about reaches us here. But certain like larger movements because of that are actually setting the tracker off. It's trying to identify if that is a moving object, and the ones that are, they get the full line, but that's why they're jumping up. So we're getting a bit of those as well. You like to stay quiet, lurking in the background. I said with the newspaper, the eye holes cut out there, X. And are we looking through a telescope, and how is everything tracked? So this is just a digital camera, you know, coming in long lead from my garden there, and it's tracked. So this is some software we're building, so that's why it's not perfect, because I'm not actually very good at it. But it does help us. Sometimes it will get the tracking wrong. See, this one isn't being tracked at the minute, but this one that is fainter is. So I'm not sure why that would be. But again, so building it ourselves, so it isn't perfect. Oh, is TikTok having another sulk? Let's have a look. Oh, shit. Like we're going through a bad internet phase. We sort the camera out, and then the internet starts to have a sulk again, doesn't it? Where did we get to? So yeah, it's a bit sketchy, but we are improving it. It's much harder to traffic. Oh god, yeah, it is. It's obviously much closer, and so it looks really cool. But yeah, so hard at those sorts of distances, isn't there? Okay, so it's mostly the lens. It's not so much the camera. But you've got to find a lens that's letting in as much light as possible. It took a lot of goes to try and get it right. And then also you need a clear night as well. You know, we can't take full credit. It's just a really clear night for us tonight as well. There. And Starship 3 launches on a Thursday now at 11:45 p.m. Oh, hopefully that will go well. I want to see them do well. You know, they're our best bet for getting up into space and all that. Also, this is a red one at the minute. You see what's happened here? So it's got the initial tracking line wrong. So it thought it was going to go that way, and it's actually gone this way. So it's getting further and further away, and it's set it off to us. So that's a false positive there. Well, sometimes it's going to lose them because the tracker can be a lot more sensitive. But where we're getting that atmospheric interaction tonight, it's if I make it more sensitive, it picks up more of the stars twinkle. So it's a bit of a trade-off tonight. Went stargazing in Tenerife there, up Mount Tidy, and the third best place in the world. I went up there once as a kid, but yeah, oh god, I can't even imagine, because this where we are here in Wiltshire, so we're in the middle of the country. It's really clear here compared to where I was in Essex, which was much more light polluted. But you know, it's like, think of how good it can be elsewhere. If we are actually near a dark sky reserve, so I do need to pop down the road and do a skywatch from there at some point there. You're looking for the Scooby van, folks, for tonight. Don't get me started on the Scooby wagon there. Was it Gerald? It was Gerald, Kate. That was it. That was the dolphin, you know, worker that was, you know, kidnapped the guy, wasn't it? Be a whole other story. No, we were talking about the ISS there, and it's been over the UK recently. It has. We've had it on stream a couple of times last week. I think it's now just a bit low for us to catch it on stream. But yeah, last week you did catch it a few times. And you know, it always catches me out because it's the biggest, brightest, bloody fastest thing in the night sky. I'm always there going, oh my god, what's this? And then you guys remind me it's the International Space Station and not a UFO. It's 'cause Alien took that. I don't scare easy. It's a long challenge. Yep. I warned you. The loop-de-loops there. And is that S as well? Thank you for the follow there, Just Bra. Thank you for that. Where are you joining us from there? Oh, hilarious. I can't remember the person's name there, but I can remember the name of a fictional dolphin. and your house ghost, yeah. But I don't have house ghosts, Kate. No ghosts in the house. You know the rules. All right, bounce back over to the tube. Where are we? Down there. The Soviet Republic. Yeah, you get close to it. My life's better than it was, but still wank. Where are we down there? Oh, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. That's it there. And that's why he looks like a cowboy. Witness as well. Once you get locked into a serious extraterrestrial collection, the tendency to push it as far as it will go. Is that a quote from Fear and Loathing? But obviously the extraterrestrial. If not, I swear that's a quote from Fear and Loathing. We are always better off than some. Yes, that is always true. Exactly, Leroy. And it's interesting, the items recovered from under the skin of people that say they have been abducted. Items, when studied, are made from elements not known on Earth. And how can the skeptics explain that? Well, most of the time they're not explaining it. They're just, you know, they present... You present them the evidence, and then they just go, well, I don't trust that you're telling me the truth. You know, that though... And I don't think that's a nice bright one, even though. Let's have a look at that.
Zoom mode activated.
Because we're tackling it at the wrong point. We think it's evidence that we need for everyone, but actually we need to go a bit broader. We need to go into the level of belief. We need to show them that it's possible. Explain the structure of the universe, because a lot of people are still basing themselves on the older scientific understanding, which is it's not quite right. And now it has also been updated. But even a lot of scientists will still go, we don't know that life's out there. You know, what do you mean there's aliens out there? But again, that was based before we had the ability to detect those planets orbiting other stars. So we thought there was a possibility that our solar system was unique, and therefore our planet could be unique. You know, and that's plausible to a degree. Although I would have thought that wouldn't be my first thought. You know, I'd assume the other way until we'd checked myself. But yeah, a lot of scientists haven't updated that, and again, culturally, a lot of the mainstream hasn't updated it from that point. But actually, the astrobiologists, the people studying this stuff, think life is abundant and life is out there. So, you know, aliens are going to be out there. That is not going to be slam dunk news there. So we kind of need to just let that seep through, kind of show them the possibility that, okay, well, look, you know, life is probably going to be out there. Then it's that, well, actually, look, we're getting these detections are in the atmosphere of these distant planets. It looks like life is out there. And then maybe life is here also within the solar system. Maybe there is that detection on Mars, you know, that with there. And then slowly, once you build them into it, you ease them in. You've got to take them out for dinner first. Then we can, you know, then they'll take it on board. Because otherwise, I think it's too jarring. They're going back to that old ways. Oh, thank you there, Mina. I'll check that one out, hopefully after the stream. But if I don't get a chance, it'll be some point tomorrow. But thank you for that. And I've been to Africa there. No sympathy. Oh my God, for me. Yeah, no sympathy for me. And subjectively, feet along, isn't it? Hardy heaven to earth. So ask the one over on TikTok there if she's going to be about after this. Apparently, Kate, Raf is curious if you are about after this. Life is good. What's the little harambe emojis for there? Oh, that was it. Yeah, life good, wife better, wife gone, sad. I remember that meme. Well done, Leroyd. It's very good. Some rumours say that the real Hillary Clinton hasn't been seen since she ran for president in 2016. Trump stopped talking about arresting her because she's already dead, and there were many Hillary clones. I could believe there are her in a vat somewhere. The shady stuff that those Clintons got up to, like just throughout history, always blows my mind. We need a new it always gets worse. Hey, but maybe it'll be good fun. You know, maybe you'll be able to see the stream in like higher quality there, Raf. Or use your own old one for the grid and the new one to watch the screen. 5x, Jesus Christ, Leroyd. I'm not sure about the cloning stuff there. I'm one for a good conspiracy, but yeah. Well, they started, didn't they? Publicly, you know, we got to sheep, didn't we, in the 90s with Dolly the sheep? And it's like, what's the chances that we stopped there, guys? Come on, realistically, what's the chances that we stopped, you know, with cloning sheep? No, there's a strange lab with a strange scientist somewhere, probably government funded, that's still doing it there. Because this is the problem with human nature. As soon as something's possible, like the train's always rolling. You know, there may be a different conductor. You know, might don't tell you the train's running, but it is. You know, like if we push our sciences, so therefore those things are possible, we have to look into it because then somebody else is also going to be looking into it. It's the arms race of progression. We're kind of forced to open Pandora's box and chuck the shit around. And how there are African tribes had contact with the Palladians, the Palladian system, yet they have no written language. Oh, that one is one of the ones I find so fascinating. There, is it the Dogon tribe there that talk about? But you know, it was serious, wasn't it? There, I think it's the Dogon was serious. So because lots of actual tribes do talk about the Pallades, and again, that's interesting in itself there, but for different reasons. But it is very interesting. But no, it's the Dogon tribe that talk about Sirius there, which is in their oral history that we have reported through antiquity. You know, for a very long time, we have reported, you know, them telling this story about their ancestors that said basically they came into contact with beings from another star system, which was Sirius. They pointed to the night sky and they said it's a binary star system, so 2 stars, and the orbit of one of those stars is about 52 years. Now, at the time, and for a very long time after that, it was only in the 80s we got the ability to point our telescopes over to Sirius and go, oh yeah, that is a binary system. You know, what are the chances of them knowing that? Well, there's a lot of binary, in fact most stars are at least binary systems, but they were right about the orbit time as well. So you think that is interesting, isn't it? And there are various stories along those lines. Where did we get to? What's how can I contact with the player system? And I did that one as well. It is getting late. What is? Oh God, it is actually. It is time to wind up. So I will be winding up for on the hour here, having another little internet sulk. No, we've gone into the black hole. And Nathan as well. How long you living? Lifetime's work there. The Clintons were recently questioned in Congress over Epstein. As she walked out, he giggled like a demented perv, allegedly. Exactly. They're all up to it. They're all up to it. You know, there's no good or bad side of these ones. They're all shit. They're all little fuckers up to it. Bang on, Paul. And the Dogon was Sirius the Dog Star. That was it, Scooby. Oh, you got away with the buffering. It did flag up on my little meter here that it was a bit of a bad one there. Right, where are we? Going to quickly bounce back over to the TikTok, and we'll finish up there for that one. So my garden ghost. Thank you, Kate. Kat, how are you doing there? Speaking of, we were just talking earlier, Kat, about our greatest fears of people that we know outside of the UFO world coming into the stream and and discovering our weird UFO interests. So for everybody over on the TikTok, Catzaws over there is one of my oldest friends, who I didn't tell I was doing the stream, but found her way into here, no doubt, anyway. But it's good to see. How's little one doing? The lines are tracking software that we're working on. It's a bit janky at the minute, but it's tracking the moving objects, and hopefully will identify us to the ones that act a little bit strangely. The part 2 is it's going to identify the stars in the night sky, and then we can combine those 2 bits of information to label what they actually are. Scented as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from? And check launches from Starlink on the website called spacelaunchschedule.com. That should actually be another thing we should bring in information wise, just like the other one you showed about all the space debris and things that was up there. It's a golden nugget, not a satellite. And if we went with the flat earth idea, and that night sky, there is water. It's lovely water. I'm not quite sold with that one yet. More of the stars must be a little diamond. I mean, but what's outside of the water? What's outside of it there? Depends if you fall. Kate says, depends if she falls asleep or not, Raph. There. Baby is a year old on Thursday. Oh my God. I knew it was coming up for... It was July. Shit, it is July, isn't it there? Well, I'll totally forget to say it on the day, but happy birthday to little one in advance of that one. It's crazy. You ready for your second one, Kat? More diamonds. Where did we get to over on the tubes? Thank you, Leroy. And greetings there, Truth Co. From Asheville, NC, USA. I love that one. Land of loads of UFOs. What is your best sighting that you have come across there? And very much a welcome in. We are coming to you live tonight from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So lots of weird and wonderful things in these night skies. And ads there as well. Thanks for another good hunt. Thank you there. We're not going to be on for much longer. Make it what are you on about, guys? What are you on about over there? Right, make sure, guys, you're following, subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we are going to have to come off now. It is a school night. So make sure you're following and get those notifications when we go live. We're going to be on tomorrow night as well. It's still looking like a Skywatch, I think. Should we just double check? That's a nice bright one. Should we quickly zoom in on that one?
Zoom mode activated.
A little bit of a blue tinge to that one. Keep your eyes on it as we're going. Right, let me just check the weather for tomorrow night, guys. So, what are we in now? Right there. Yep, it's looking clear for tomorrow, so it should be another Skywatch. Make sure you join us, or then. Should be maybe we'll try 10:30 tomorrow night. So, yeah, do join us there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us, for sharing your accounts with the phenomena, your experiences. Your knowledge and all of that stuff as well there. Just general support, keeping us company there. Do appreciate it all. And we will all catch you tomorrow night. Have a good day. Bye-bye, guys.